Hello, my beautiful peasants, and welcome back to the tavern. I have a really fun stream planned today, but before we get started on that, of course, just small housekeeping things. This is the model from our last stream, our capybara warrior. I've been sitting here waiting for the stream to start and just getting this all post-processed. It pretty much looks identical, but if you look very carefully, there are little seams that have been blended and whatnot. Also, in kind of exciting news, I'm ahead for work, which is really exciting. I took yesterday off again, which I felt weird about because that's the whole point of the weekend, is to recharge, but I got all ready yesterday. I sat down to work and nothing happened. It was very weird. I haven't had that happen in a long time. And I'm like, is this burnout? I'm like, what is this? And so I had a bit of a fit and then I talked to Ricky about it, my husband, and he was just like, just take the day off. And I'm like, and then I realized I have finished all my models for April. So every month my goal is to get 15 models, brand new characters, terrain, monster, whatever, just 15 models finished. And this is the 15th model, this capybara. So today's request, I'm actually starting to work on May's release, which is crazy. I'm really excited about that. Also, for anyone watching, whether they're students or aspiring 3D artists in the 3D printable space, doing 15 models a month is not reasonable, okay? I've been doing this for 7 years, and I have a lot of little special systems that allow me to do that. But I work 4 days a week, and that averages out to a model every single day. So I just want to be very, very clear. Like, when you hear crazy productivity thing, don't think I need to do that. I have a certain way that I detail things, my style, all kinds of stuff like that. You can do it. I'm just, big disclaimer, because I have a lot of students that watch these streams, and I don't want them to think, oh man, I get 2 models done a month. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So hello. Did Just Lingual pass his trial? What did the peasants vote? I'm going to go with no. You were late to your own punishment stream, and every single peasant died except for Catfish, which I don't think counts. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, we had a game stream on Saturday. That was great. Thank you, Sean. Woo, it's fun for me. Yeah, I've been super happy about that. Don't get me wrong, I did not take my day off yesterday gracefully. I 100% had like a fit over it. And I'm like, am I burned out? How? I've been so careful. What has happened? And then I was like, okay, I'll just take the day off. I played a Hades 2 for the first time. I pretty much played that all day. And it was awesome. I really am enjoying it. So yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, I think it's all the housekeeping stuff. Oh, I'm painting minis again. I am crocheting regularly. I'm putting a ton of stuff in my shop. Honestly, my handmade projects in the shop, it's more like a, gosh, how do I put this? I don't say gosh. Anyway, it's more like a gallery that I can put up there. What I'm trying to say is, like, I don't mind if they stay up there for a long time. They're just fun presents. Like, anyone that's into crochet knows that these are not like economically viable to make money on. They're just fun things. I pretty much sell them for a cost, and then I stuff more 3D prints in there. So this is the link to my shop. I have a couple little goofy guys up there right now. They're all based on Woobles patterns right now, but I have a big project I'm working on soon that is not Woobles based. It is something else. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, the collector's crate is how you get like minis. These all come with minis as well, the crochet packages or whatever. Because I print these things anyway, so I figured if it fits in the box, if it fits, it ships. But anyway, if you need one of these goofy little guys on your desk, there you go. Shipping is free in the US, and I don't think taxes get applied to these. I try to make it so the price that you see is the price that you pay. I try to keep it really straightforward. All right, that is everything. Housekeeping is done. I hope you guys are well. I'm gonna save this file, and then we're gonna get started. Good stuff. Where did I save the cat guitar? There he is. There he is. All right. We have our starting point. I do have some fairies in here already. To make something truly fairy size, it'd be like microscopic. So I just go with like gnome halfling proportions roughly, and then obviously no base versions. You guys can scale however you like, but roughly this size. Okay. Yeah, aren't they cute? And they are. Everything that's in the shop right now is based on a Woobles pattern. I say base because I make very small adjustments. If you look at it looks identical. I don't know why I say based on. They're pretty much exactly the same. I just have little tiny things I try to like improve and have stuff line up better. But yeah. Okay, let's talk about today's request. Today's request is from the lovely Otaka, who is a bit on a bit of a hot streak here of having requests that end up in my top 40. So I linked my shop in the chat right now, but there's also the vault, so like my actual business. My business is not selling physical products, it's sculpting models. Anyway, but in the vault, I updated the top 40 list for 2026, and man, Otaka's requests, like, they tend to be in the top multiple times, which is very, very impressive because a lot of the requests are not, they're niche. They're niche. So it's really cool to see them doing as well as they are. Okay, this is their newest request. These are a bunch of screenshots I took of their description they provided for me in a Discord DM. But yes, it's going to be a fairy warlock with a familiar, which was requested for April. I haven't looked at that yet. We're going to focus on just this character now. But maybe I'll do another version of this character with her familiar on the base. Who knows? Depends if I'm feeling generous. She looks a bit fae-like, a bit necromancer-like, so spooky but chaotic, whimsical. And then a lot of the ways that Otaka formatted this request were just excellent. If you're going to be specific but vague, this is the way to do it. Sag, specific, vague. Anyway. So like for right here, like horns similar to these, maybe one of them is broken or even both. So this is the reference for that. These wings are unbelievably cool. So some sort of eldritch, spooky, asymmetrical wings. I already have some ideas of how I'm going to do that. And this being the overall silhouette and possibly pose. So pretty cool character. I'm really excited for this. Here are the two weapons that she will have, a scythe and then this like, oh gosh, what is this called? Needle chain thing. Really, really cool. But yes, she likes to teleport around, play tricks and stuff like that. It's a character that I feel like I can see and I immediately understand, which is a lot of fun. I will say that characters that I understand quickly aren't always even, like I don't have to understand it to make it like make good work. There were a couple of models that were in the top 40 that I was shocked by because I just struggled with them the entire time. I did this barbarian furbog that had this like chitin. Why can't I know? I don't know how to pronounce that still. Anyway, like armor. And so I did like vines instead to kind of make it make more sense. And by the end, I was like, God, this model look good? I'm not sure because I looked at it for so long. So seeing it in the top 40 made me very happy because I'm like, oh, good. Someone liked it. Oh, goodness. And Aloha says, you guys will be pleased to know that I caught up on the capybara video on demand that I missed. I'm now emotionally recovered. Yeah, so apparently Aloha's favorite animal is a bear. And so unsurprisingly, they also really like capybaras and they were super excited for that stream and they fell asleep and they slept through the whole thing. Rip. So that was the Discord drama of last week. All right. Good stuff, good stuff. Why won't you move? There we go. All right, we have our references, and I think we're all ready to go. Yeah, kind of like a trickster warlock. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. We did get a fun new meme. Gnomeling proportions. Yes, that is what we're going for here, exactly. Just lingual. Hello, Empress. Sup, peekers. Oh my goodness. Hello. Damn, I feel sorry for your neck looking down at the monitor. I thought I held back too, but I roasted the shit out of that guy too. When I was like, what a weird dumbass comment. If they're watching again lurking, listen, it's okay. Maybe you're just socially weird, but that was an inside thought. You don't come into someone's stream and just be like, wow, you're in so much pain looking at your monitor. I don't know. I'm so glad that you caught on that, Aloha, too. It's such like a weird comment. It totally like kind of got me. I was like, what? Oh, goodness. Okay. We're starting. Sean's, maybe a tablet riser for Mia. You're joking, right? There's nothing wrong with my setup. It's perfectly ergonomic. Absolute lunatics. There's nothing wrong with my neck. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm going to ZBuilder to make a new body for this. I'm gonna go with obviously younger proportions, but not super childlike, but in like the whimsical way. Like always, I'm gonna fix the legs, which are extremely long. Here we go. That's probably good enough already. I'm getting more like those fairy proportions, and then I'll make her face look a little older. Can I just make her entire head bigger? That would be great. Head size. Make this as big as possible without looking bizarre. Her fingers a touch longer. Alright, and then adjusting her actual face. Nope, I always do eye type and it just puts their eyes farther away. I'm expecting it to angle the eyes and it never does. There we go, making the eyes a bit larger. I can change the ear type, but I don't know how much we're really going to even end up seeing her ears. I think that's good. Let's grab that. That is fair. I assume everything is a joke. 100%. Is Stabby McStab Pants a good idea for a model? I mean, it could be. It could be. Honestly, at this point, just single, I trust that you can draw anything and make it a cool character. Sean's is not with it quite today, but you'll get there. I know you will. You're like, wait, what is going on? What is the comment? Aloha did explain it. We're talking about a silly, goofy thing that happened during the capybara stream. Again, it's really, really minor. It was not a big deal. All right, let's get these proportions a little different. Again, she's going to be a fairy. Again, I want her looking young, kind of mischievous. Might give her like a tiny little smirk or something. Sean, weren't you there for the capybara stream? It was that brand new person. I'm like, oh, hi, someone new. And they were like, my neck hurts for you because of your setup. It was like really weird. And I did make fun of them immediately. I was like, what a weird first comment. All right. So when you're making a dress, the best way to do it is actually just to mask like a shirt-like shape. And then what you do is grab the bottom of it and extrude it straight down. Just like that. This whole design is going to be really asymmetrical and just cool. I'm really excited for this. That explains it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, of course. Just saying what's up? Trust my drawings. What if we slowly condition Mia to trust my drawings, then we draw he who shall not be named? You're not talking about Torben, are you? Empress says, so in Empress news, I'm so excited to print things on my new printer. But the paralysis as of I was not prepared for it. Nobody is. Don't you worry. Oh, a seamstress could be very Stabby McStabby Pants. Leave it to Sean to just create a cool character based on a ridiculous name. That's awesome. There we go. Something basic here. Wendeller says, your neck probably hurts because of the headphones. It's better for your ears and neck to have the entire room wired with 9 different 5-foot speakers instead. This is true. And then be suspended in water at the same time. That's awesome. Okay, let me scroll down here and make sure. Relatively rugged, partially torn, and witch-like. Simple dress with a simple cape and a hood on her head. Okay, yeah, so the hood. I don't need to worry about ears at all. Okay, okay. This is going to be a moment for Sculptress Pro. There we are. So I'm turning off symmetry, and now we're going to start to make this dress a bit more asymmetrical. This is one thing that I wish I could go back in time and try to tell like beginner artist me, and that's to make things less perfect more quickly. Get into that silhouette work, start making a mess of things. I do think so. Simple dress is fine. Doesn't mean we can't have a fun, there we go, layered look to it though. I'm pretty sure that this deformer works with a mask. We're gonna find out. Yes, it does. I'm always surprised by that and excited. Sean says, that's what I'm known for? You know, I'll take it. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, how many OCs do you have? I feel like you have a million different ideas all the time. And they're not even ideas, they're like fleshed out characters, which is so cool. It's a flex for sure. She's definitely gonna be barefoot. Kind of gives like that, I don't know, trickster feel. And then for her hair, I'm a bit undecided. I love everything about this initial reference image, so I'm gonna follow it somewhat closely in vibe. We'll see where we end up. Having the hood and the horns I was initially worried about until I kind of thought about like this kind of like a looser, baggier hood, so she'll have really plenty of room. But I do want this shaggier hairstyle. Big fan for having a hood because I don't have to worry about the hairline. I can really kind of just do whatever. What hairstyle is this? There's parts of that I really like, but there's not really any strands in the front. I think this hairstyle might be perfect, and then I can mix and match it with these bangs. Oh, I didn't set a timer to make sure I don't go too far off here. I'm gonna set a timer of 10 minutes just to see if I can get her overall silhouette blocked out in 10 minutes. So a long time ago, Otaka requested a character that was this like fairy butterfly child. She was just so pretty and simple. And I kind of want these two to look distantly related. This is more of like the, not like grimdark version, but like kind of. Just make it a little bit, take the Eldritch slider and just scoot it up a bit. She looks really, really weird without bangs or eyebrows. This is what you wanted, Otaka, right? Oh, speaking of, tomorrow we have yet another stream from a Tavern peasant. It is for Sean's. So we have a really good week of streams planned. I'm gonna make her face a bit more mature here though. Later. One step at a time. gonna go ahead and just Dynamesh these down. There we go. She looks slightly mad. It's not what I'm wanting. Alright, that's an improvement to what it was before. So we move on. And then something I can grab like a bangs block here. I think having them more asymmetrical will be perfect. The whole character, asymmetrical. Ataka mentioned that, because they've been supporting me on Patreon for a long time, that some of the requests that they have done turned out exactly like they imagined, and some of them turned out totally different than they imagined, but they still liked it. They're also just a good sport. This is a character I kind of want to I want to nail what they have in mind, so we'll see how we do. It's going to be their next player character, so their next PC, so I want to get it right. Yeah, I think her hair covering her face just a little bit there. It's gonna be perfect. She's looking a bit more mature too. A little too spindly. It's gonna be difficult to have her willowy in shape, but also not a 3D printing nightmare. I also want her a little bit more flat chested, not a ton. I can't mention flat-chested, but not mention itty-bitty titty committee, because I find it so funny every single time. Okay. And then a hood. I might need to make the hood from scratch, but when I give myself 10 minutes to block out an entire character, we're going to do some kit bashing. So even this shape, I'm going to be changing it so much. It's still faster to start with something that's messy than to start with from zero, depending what it is. I mean, if I'm working with a monster, for example, I do find it easier just to work from spheres and just sculpt it from scratch. Okay, I want her to have a hood, but I don't want her to look like a nun. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But that's not really this character. I don't want to delete gravity either. There we go. Perfect. And now for this cape, which this reference is just so good. I really think it's going to be close to what they're wanting. All right, do I want the sleeves to be a separate piece and they magically join because magic, or do I want it to be one piece? We're going to do separate pieces. But it's kind of low. So why am I doing the separate pieces? Pretty much I thought about posing, and immediately making it all one piece sounded annoying. So that's all. That was the thought process there. Again, she's too spindly. Willowy is cool, but I do want to 3D print this and not cry. I do enough of that. Oh, if it helps, I'm not super sad. I cry at happy things too. It just seems to be my default reaction. I always make a joke that I wasn't, when I was born, I didn't cry. You're supposed to. It shows how you're breathing and stuff. So I joke, I'm just making up for it. All right. Speaking of kind of a wholesome moment to share with y'all, I didn't actually cry, but I almost did. This was 2 days ago. I was gonna ride with my neighbor. She's just a fantastic horsewoman and person. And I was like, hey, I never really had lessons. And I know this is kind of weird, but I saw you working with kids last weekend. Could you give me a lesson like I was a kid? So she set me up on a lunge line like I'm a little kid and did these exercises like where you ride and you put your hands over your head and like it's all balance exercises, right? And it just went so well, and I hadn't ever done stuff like that before, and it was just a huge confidence boost. And yeah, I totally got teary at the end. I'm like, it was a lot of fun. And at the end I got very serious. I was like, what can I do for you now? So now I'm actually ground working a few for horses because that's something that I'm really good at. So that's been a lot of fun. It's been a good trade-off. And yes, this is the neighbor that I accidentally texted the other day. I really only text my husband and my dad, so like I have this really bad habit. If I don't like check who I'm missing the text to, I just go to the top of my messages. I know this is like a terrible, chaotic habit. It works 90% of the time, but I forgot I've been talking to my neighbor more recently, so I texted her something completely nonsensical like, oh, model release when? Because that's just the way I text. Incoherent. She thought it was funny, obviously, but I was really embarrassed. All right, it's looking like a thing. Cool. I guess she won't have hair showing underneath the hood. That would make no sense. Sad. I had this really pretty hair planned in the back, but that doesn't make sense. There we go. Hood instead. That still looks really good. All right, we have got to be coming up on 10 minutes. I feel like I haven't looked in the chat in forever. I'm sure you guys are doing well over there. I'm sure you're very on topic. I like this base here. It's kind of, it has roses on it, and in the center of the roses are eyeballs. I just think that's kind of fun and whimsical and cute. Oops. All right. We can change it later, but I always like putting a base in the scene sooner than later because it just reminds me of what I'm doing, which is a D&D mini. Cool. So I'm gonna do a combination of wings here. This looks kind of like a Luna moth right here. And then these are these kind of sharper, more classic fairy shapes. So I'm gonna take this one and this one, and we're gonna do some cool stuff. So I don't think I can really block out the silhouette on this character without wings. That would be important. Oh, there is my timer. I'm going to cheat per usual by like 10 seconds. Stop making noise at me. Even though I asked you to. There we go. I'm just gonna throw wings on here. We have a ton of changes to make still, but we're getting there. All right, and I'm gonna duplicate this mirror and then make this other one look smaller and different. Okay, really, really early 10-minute block out. Definitely looks something like this. Oh, she doesn't have horns yet. That's okay. There we go. Yeah, Ataka said, by the way, Mia, the cape, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't have to abide by gravity. It can be held by magic. Yes. Can also be gravity, but you know, options. When the options is between gravity and not gravity. Always not gravity. I agree. I'm already starting to get this kind of like flowier shape, so that'd be really, really fun. Pinterest is an addiction. This is true. Mia was social and asked for help. I don't know why I'm so surprised when you guys say comments that are really, really specific about my personality and cut to my core, but every time I'm like, you shouldn't know either one of those things about me. Yeah, I was. Good job, me. Do I come across as someone that's bad at asking for help? I feel like I haven't talked about that. But yeah, I did. I asked for horseback riding lessons, which feels, I don't know, I'm like, I'm almost 30. Am I allowed to do that? Sure I am. Of course you are. I got this weird thing in my head when I was young. Okay, weird specific story time. Did you guys, like, do you guys remember zoo books? Okay, this is something I have to do. We're taking a small 5-minute break. I had a subscription to zoo books when I was a kid. And I loved these things. They came every month, and it was on a different animal. And at the very, very end of it was drawings submitted by kids, but they would take kids up to 18, okay? And I remember if they were 18, I was never impressed by what they drew. It didn't matter if it was perfect. I'm like, well, yeah, they're 18. They're like old. And for some reason, this like thought has been very pervasive in my entire life. Where I remember even as old as 17, which is, I knew it was dumb. I was like, man, I better get profoundly good at something, otherwise it won't be impressive anymore. Such a weird thought. Because 5-year-old me, because I was like, when I first started getting zoo books, I could not read. So I had to have been, young. Anyway, where are these? I wouldn't have thrown these away. Do you ever think about stuff you had when you were a kid and you're like, wait, where the fuck is this? I would still have these. Parents. Anyway, but wanted to share that very weirdly specific story. So yeah, I'm weird about asking for help. That's how it all ties in. Okay. Off topic question, but did you take the FE exam? I did not. I am not a professionally licensed engineer. I just got my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I didn't go and take my PE. Or FE. It depends where you're at. Where we were at was called PE, pretty sure. Anyway, no, I didn't. I started doing this instead. Yeah. You do remember zoo books? Okay, heck yeah. No, I was not. Shut up, Aloha. Oh my goodness. Otaka said, you guys infected me with Pinterest. I never used it, and now I am about to, and I'm addicted to looking for the best reference pictures there are. So, these refs are the result of hours of searching. They're good references too. They really are. None shaming? Oh my goodness. IBTC, Itty Bitty Titty Committee, is such a good rhyme too, isn't it? It is. Seeing this, I should really make a lashes and brows library. You should, and you don't even have to do a good job. Just like have a little brick for both, and then like you can Dynamesh it into a different shape immediately even, but just having it at the start really helps. Yeah. Can you give them a baked cake? No. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, I don't think I missed anything else. You should see the Discord. What are we doing in the Discord? Share your art. Gospel. Oh goodness. You. Okay, I'm like, you used like emojis to censor and made it not censored. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Empress printed one of her models. Look, just tossed in a random model I made with default settings and automatic supports. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. Okay, that I had put an angry face. It's just another heart. Anyway, that's super exciting. Huzzah. Hey, you have a stream deck too. You should stream. I have the same thing. What else is happening? Nothing. Very good. We're back to it. The FE comes first, you then work for 4 years, and then you take your PE. Yes, that's right. We had some weird program that you could... Anyway, yes, that is correct. It's not required to graduate at my university, but I hope to take mine in the summer. Very nice. Yeah, I don't think most universities require it. You know, it's only on stream that I get like a runny nose and snotty. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm not breathing through my nose because I'm talking the entire time. I don't know. Anyway. We're gonna make this cape so wispy and so cool. Can you make a quick eyebrow tutorial? I feel like I'm overcomplicating it. Probably. I got you. All right, quick eyebrow tutorial. Zoom in on that face. Grab your masking pen. Have like a medium poly count density. Like this is a little pixelated. That's just right. Take your masking brush and draw on some eyebrows. If you make them too thick, that's fine. Invert. If you don't even know how to use your masking brush, this tutorial is probably too advanced for you, but I'll tell you anyway. Hold down Command, and that's how you draw. And if you hold Command and tap off of it, you can invert your mask. That's how you can take away stuff. So again, hold Command, draw an eyebrow shape. The like arch of your eyebrow should be on the outside of your brow bone. So right here, this is where this is like the plane of the forehead. And then right on this side right here, this line is where the head starts to turn. That's where the little ridge or arch will happen. Like that's where you put like a piercing. That's what I always think of. Like that's where or at least where a good piercer would put that. So again, right here, face is turning, downturn. Great, now that you have that, it doesn't really matter how shapely or not shapely they are. You'll deal with that in a second. Invert the shape. Make sure it's black. Click on Extract under the Subtool menu. I usually like to have double turned on. And I have a thickness like 0.002. It depends on what the size of your model is, honestly. And then Accept. And then you'll have some little eyebrow bricks. Hold down the smooth brush, and there you go. Eyebrows. If you're like Mia, these aren't detailed. You're right. So subdivide a few times. You can grab a slash brush or damp standard, and then you can just really quickly go through there and, come on, ZBrush, and just scribble some details on there. To do that, all I did was alternate between adding and subtracting material. You can invert how your brush functions by holding on Option. So if it normally takes away material, if you invert it with Option, then it'll add material. There you go. Browse. Delete. Bam. $1. Mia is allergic to one of us. But who? I will let you guys figure that out on your own. Report back. All right, next thing is I don't have horns, but I wanted to. I have a horn starter I made a long time ago based off of a video I saw from Caroline. Really cool, great tutorial. Pretty much you just make a little stacked tubes of detailed lines. You'll see that like each one is an individual piece. And then once you use your curve modifier, you can really shape them however you want. It's pretty cool. This is gonna be too many sections, I already know, because she's just an itty bitty fairy. So I'm gonna delete probably about half of it. There we go. Position it roughly in the right place. I'm gonna hide the hood to do this. Just gonna position it about there-ish. And now I can grab this bend deformer and click on Bend Curve. I'm gonna add another node by grabbing this little gold cone. So now I have another gold node and just roughly get the shape in. You want to work with as few nodes as possible and then only add them as is absolutely necessary. Go back to this node. Let's make it a little tapered. Nope, not twisted. How do I taper you? There you go. Add another node so I can get this arc a little better. You can see very quickly if you add too many, it starts getting very lumpy and just unpleasant. See, I don't like this end point. It's not doing what I want it to. But this isn't the end all be all. I can then like, you know, sculpt on this. I guess. I'm gonna start twisting the sections just because it looks cool, really. All right, that's plenty of a good enough base to then refine. I can grab move topological, and I can grab these individual sections. It's pretty cool. Something else you can do that's pretty neat is I can turn mask by polygroups to 100, and then I can actually sculpt on individual pieces here, and it will only bring up the edge that I'm working on. So that's a cool one too. Because I'm really trying to see how I want to get this shape here. I'm going to make these horns asymmetrical. They might both end up being broken, but I find it easier to like sculpt the whole thing and then break it after the fact. That is very much so a personal preference thing. You might find it easier to do the opposite. Nope, not like that. I don't like something about this curve. Let's find out. It's probably the placement. It's probably a lot of things. I'm gonna mirror weld and work on it with symmetry so I can bet. Yeah, it looks like this goofy like heart as opposed to this, and then they will actually be sit back a little bit. Oh, now it's literally a heart. Though cute, not what I'm trying to do. It's really important you kind of see how it's interacting with the face, so with these little concave points. And sometimes if you're really feeling stuck, you can look at the negative space as well. That's getting closer. I think that these endpoints are just not working with me. There we go. So I just got rid of them entirely, and I can resculpt on that. Very good. Very good. Something else I like to use is the spiral brush to get a better taper on the ends. Some people get frustrated with the spiral brush because it's so strong, but you can adjust the intensity and you can adjust the direction by holding Option. That's looking better. Oh, I'm spending a little bit too much time on these considering how much else I have to do still. There we go. Oh my gosh. You guys are being silly in the chat. I'm also going to hide her hair or just her bangs for a moment to make sure that these are fitting where I want them to. I find just above the temple to be pretty good. Okay, I like it. Now I'm going to split them into 2 different pieces. And the easiest way to break one of them is simply to delete segments until I get to a point that I like. All right, I'm going to move this hood so it kind of hooks behind that horn. That's a really, really good paint job you just posted in the chat. Sean said, I did a big count. I have 356 OCs. Ain't no way. That is insane. That's pretty cool though. This model is reminding me of this. Of a busty succubus? I don't know, y'all. I'm not seeing it, chat. Maybe I'm taking that too literally. All right, I am going to Dynamesh this. start showing some of the breaks. I don't like how this brush is interacting right now. There we go. I was like, you're not doing the brush things that I was promised. There we go. That looks a little bit more broken. Alo agrees. How high are you? Right? Like, no way. They're both women and they have wings. Paint's like, I'm never going to share in this stupid community again. See, this is exactly why I set timers, so I don't spend 10 minutes on one small section of the model. Which is fine. There is a time and a place for me to kind of dive in and spend a lot of time on one section. This really wasn't the time or the place. But I'm this far in, so we might as well keep going. This ref was almost a ref I picked. That's a little closer to yours. That's really, really pretty. That's so nice. Yeah. Wow, that's a good reference. I'm gonna leave that up. That just makes me happy. Where is lazy radius? There it is. Just Singwell says, how does one define OCs? It's a part of the art community I've never super understood. Yeah, oh my goodness. I was talking to Ricky about this. I can't remember what it was. Oh, they were picking a video for us to watch during lunch. And I really like watching Lavender Town. And it was a video of her saying like how to improve your OCs. And he's like, yeah, how to improve your original content. I'm like, Ricky, OC does not mean original content. It means original character. He's like, yeah, like your original content. I'm like, no. Anyway, it's an original character. Yeah. Anytime you make a character. So every D&D character you make arguably is an OC. Sorry if it's obvious, my brain is very utilitarian. No, you're fine. Ataka says, anyone mind if I just dump all the potential refs I had? Please do, but you might influence the trajectory of this model. Which wouldn't be a bad thing. I do not know how old I'm supposed to make her look. If you could just tell me that, that would be helpful. Because she looks like a little kid right now, a little bit. But she's a fairy, so that's kind of part of it. Kind of. Do I have perspective on? I do. I'm going to make this plane here a little sharper. Sorry, I made her a little bit older before you responded, so if you're like, young, sorry, I just changed it. But I can change it back. Oh my goodness, that's pretty paint. That's like my favorite reference you've ever shared paint ever of anything. Ever. Someone please request that. Ataka said, when you said you wanted to make her close to my butterfly fairy, I thought, could this be like the big sister turned eldritch, right? So I guess young adult, perfect. Something like that. Fairies are weird, right? They're so weird. You can really do a lot with it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I helped influence maybe the headcanon for this character. Headcanon. This is only headcanon. It's all canon because it's your head. Anyway, your OC. That was a mess. Yeah. All right, something weird's going on with her jawline. Help. I need to move a bone in her face higher. There we go. Without moving the rest of her face. The gap between the nose and the top of the lips is just a constant struggle. Okay. Give me your face. Thinking. Good. Fix. I'm gonna grab my soft brush here and bring up those cheekbones. And it's all very careful. Faces are so sensitive. If you're a new artist and you're sculpting a face and you're crashing out because it looks bad, don't. You pick like the hardest thing possible. It's what we look at all day. It's partly why hands are so hard to draw or sculpt or do anything with, just because we look at them all day. So you know what looks wrong, as opposed to sculpting an armadillo. You could probably just get close-ish and you'll be like, that's a really nice armadillo. That's better. Okay, I want to find that character that I made for Otaka before, the Butterfly Fairy, which I'm hoping I just called Butterfly Fairy, so it'd be very easy to find. Butterfly Fairy. Nope, I didn't. Guys, for such a long time, I knew the name of every single model, and then I made 1,000, and now I don't. Now I don't know anymore. Child. Did I call it a child? Fae Child Action. Fae Child Casual. That sounds promising. That sounds like it. This is it. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. What the heck? So this is another request I did for Otaka. I mean, she's just so pretty. You know, it's funny, I use the same hair base here. So I'm going to try to make a older looking version. I just think it'd be really cool if they looked related. Which, I mean, they're just both pretty fairy girls, so they're probably gonna look related no matter what. Oh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh. So far, I think we are doing just that. Oh, it totally looks like an older version. Yeah. All right. We're on the same page. Very good. Very good. Oh, here we go. These were all the potential ideas. Some are different character ideas as between support Heal Fairy and the lighthearted picks. Also, absolute bomb-throwing maniac, the one with the dress and bat ears, and the Warlock. Warlock was definitely a really, really good pick. Oh, these are gorgeous. I'm just gonna leave all those up. Look at all the different hairstyle ideas. Oh, fun. Yeah, that's fantastic. Ooh, more. Here are cool other pictures I found. cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I found while searching, but never considered using. Only some for the pose. Okay. Oh, I like the spider one. I also like the dragon tail girl. These are cool. These are super cool. All right. I want the dress to be thinner. And then the cape is going to be just everywhere. All right, cape. Time to be everywhere. But like in a whimsical way, not like in a it's a mess way. All right, that fell apart. We're going to mirror and weld, and we're going to try again using snake hook. That's better. Oh, I see what happened. I see why this was tricky. I'm learning. Ooh, that's not what I wanted at all. Get over there. So this is difficult because the front of the shirt is a little too open. So everything that I pull off of it as it gets more and more open kind of defeats what I'm trying to do. So let's just bring this in a little bit. There we go. Jacinko says, maybe I'll request a Mia OC as my next month's request. You know, your girl does not really have that many OCs. I feel bad. I feel weirdly, not bad, but guilty about that. No, that's not the word. Embarrassed. Like, I feel like as a professional artist, I should just have like a million, but I really just don't. Like, it's just not something that I ever really did, I guess. What are my OCs? I guess my D&D characters. Okay, I do have a million of those. I love me talking just lingual. I'm like, yeah, those are all OCs. And then I apply that same thing to myself, and I'm like, I don't have any. I've never designed a character in my life. It's obviously not true. Okay, yeah, no, I totally have characters I could do. I don't know why I said that. Never mind. Same with her dress. I'm gonna redesign this to be more simple. But less boring. This is boring. I want it to be less boring. I'm thinking. I have an idea. I need to add thickness to it now, which makes me worried. But I think I can do it. Essentially what I'm going to do, why is this ripping through the model? Where are you coming from? And stop doing that. Stop it. Stop. Thank you. Okay, so to make this dress simple, but way less boring, I am going to have it like layer, kind of like a wrap, kind of like a toga, and then it can be a good excuse for me to add a bunch of nice little fabric folds. Alo just listed the entire list of Mia OCs. Yeah, it's like 1,200 models. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm like, but those are other people's ideas. And I'm like, okay, definitely not all of them. Some of them are just mine. You're right. I don't know why I said that. Okay, how do I do my own art? 1 second. Ooh, I have an idea. I usually don't sculpt things like messy like this, but it's really fun to sculpt like this. And I think it's gonna really suit this character well. It will all make sense soonish, but no sooner than soonish. I'm gonna use the slash brush to pick up some heavy fabric folds for me. Kind of using this to pretty much block in shapes. And then if it looks pretty good, I'll keep it. And if it looks crappy, I will spend more time making it look good. See what I mean by this like almost like toga sort of wrapped thing we got going on here? I usually use the slash brush to detail hair. It's kind of bizarre to use it in a different way, but it's working. And I'm using this instead of the standard brush because I really want the plane changes to be clear. And if I like these plane changes, which I do, I can then build them up more using the standard brush. See? That's like a way better fabric fold with like 2% of the effort. Oh, I feel like I didn't draw enough attention to that like I normally would for a low. I'd be like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at the thing I just did 10 minutes ago. It was helpful. See? That's gonna print like deliciously. That is gonna paint really, really well too. And now we have so much control over like the way that this dress can like overlap on itself. It's gonna be really cool. Okay, I made her a little bit too much part of the itty bitty titty committee. I want a little bit more titty. Not a lot. There we go, just something. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not going to have like a cleavage line unless something is pushing them together. It does not matter how big they are. They have to be pushed together. Cleavage is not natural. It is pushed. But you will definitely have this like, you know, volume increase and decrease in like a good shadow. But it drives me insane when I have, hasn't happened in a long time, but I have students do this like really, really crazy hard line like this. And I'd be like, what is happening right there? And then ridiculous. It's like, I mean, you better give her a shirt or something to push them together. That's not happening on its own. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like some weird body accuracy purist. And it's not even about body positivity. It's just like, it breaks the immersion. If it doesn't make any sense at all. I know it's like, Mia, she has wings. And I'm like, yes, I can look past that. But if she has magic boobs, it's distracting and annoying and weird. All right, thanks for coming to my boob TED Talk. We're continuing. I also think it'd be cool if I kind of had it like it was ruched up to one side, which just, ruched is just a really fancy word for gathered fabric. And I just think the whole thing would be neat if it was kind of pulling to one side. And the reason why I'm detailing this underdress like heavily, even though there's gonna be this big cloak, is because I plan to texture them in very, very different ways. So this is gonna be a bit more gathered, a bit more structured. It'll allow like for more of her body to be shown in a way that is clear. And then we can have this really wispy, gauzy cloak that sits on top that has no rules. That can be no gravity, full fantastic nonsense. The best kind of nonsense. All right, now that I've used the slash brush to kind of take care of my plane changes for me, I can get in there with my standard brush and add some volume. That's cool. I like that a lot. Very good. Oh, that's true. I don't know what you plan to do with the chain from the knife needle thing, but that could make the dress less boring. Yeah, kind of like this. Absolutely. And this would layer... I might have it loop up on her hip. That'd be really cool. Empress says, unless you've had work done, those puppies seek the path of least resistance to the ground. This is true. Oh, that's really funny. Thank you, Mia. No problem. Sean says, Mia, I legit needed to hear that myself just now because I'm sketching an OC who is the opposite of IBTC. No problem. No problem. Oh, Empress said, I would love to see your D&D character with the demon rabbit, the tamer. That'd be a cool piece. Yes, Rayla. Rayla Verdance has been requested by Otaka or my DM, so that is coming. She kind of reminds me of my tiefling fortune teller right now, too. Just a little bit. I'm moving her hair off of her face just a tiny bit to have a little bit more clarity. Sir Bucklefang by Gwen, Rayla by me. That sounds right. Thank you again to you both. It's so fun. I need to get this caping. Oh, I also need to throw a little screenshot up here. This has not been the most aesthetic stream because I'm not paying attention. Make. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Thank you. Make aesthetic. I'm gonna work on the cape. Let me stop 10 minutes on that. Can I bully you into looking at my cool wife's art when we take a break? Absolutely. Catch me in 10 minutes. This is a proud husband, not to be a bother, of course. That's never being a bother. Aloha said, what? I just came back. Those fabric folds are folding. Yeah, I actually briefly was like, oh, I'm really good about getting Aloha's attention. I'm like, hey, you should watch this. And then I didn't. And I was like, hey, go watch the last 10 minutes. Yeah, I just like pulled a brand new technique out of thin fucking air. I've never ever done fabric folds in that way. They look similar, but I haven't structured them like that though. And it worked really, 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 really well. Okay. How do? I find it is easiest to grab what is going to be your end point and then work backwards when it comes to finagling stuff in ZBrush. Man, her butt is just out. Man, I haven't flipped this character around at all. Put that away. Ah! It's not putting away. That's what you wanted, right, Otaka? You said she was kind of playful, and a synonym for that is cheeky. Too literal? Too literal. Okay. Sneak hook. I kind of want... I'm going to pose her feet right now because it's like such an important part of like the silhouette for her is to have her kind of like on her tiptoes. I need that to happen now. Nope. And not like on her tippy toes, just a little bit. Remember, you move the foot in 3 sections. You have the heel, you have the arch, and you have the toe section. It's not a foot string. Nope. And the toe section is like right by the toes. So make sure you really get that mask. There we go. And that's how you can pose feet easily without losing your mind. Yeah, I'm having to add a pose to this character sooner than I expected because it's just such an important part of like, I don't know, her nature and like her vibe. I feel like she would have long fingernails too. So I've been painting minis again, and specifically I've been painting a lot of my work. And there's so many details that I thought I was just doing for me that totally show up on these prints. You can totally see them. So I'm gonna be even more ridiculous with the level of detail I add. There we go. More is in fact more. Breaking news. All right, it's coming together. Though the edge of this dress is not nearly frayed enough. I kept wanting to say just fucked up enough, and I'm like, you're more coherent than that. Use your words. Why do we have the Pink Panther? Sneak. I saw you immediately. Terrible sneak. Oh no, Miguel came in when the butt was out. Hi, Miguel. Hey, girl, hey. I put it away. Oh my gosh. That's great. Shoe feet. That's embarrassing. Just Lingual said, I like how the folds are directing shape without necessarily adding real volume. It's a good note to remember. It is, and I just did that correctly for the first time ever too. So we're learning together. That's fun. For those that use ZBrush specifically, slash brush, then standard. Not standard, then slash. Makes a much bigger difference than I thought. Not too much tippy. Not the tippiest of toes, just tippish. Yes, the tippish. Tippish indeed. I think the fancy word in dance is releve, right? I should know this. No, I shouldn't. I took ballet when I was 5. I don't need to remember that. Miguel, you came at the weirdest part of the stream. Good job. I was talking about Hades too earlier, but I didn't mention that you were pretty much the reason why I got the game. I was just convinced it was just going to be Hades again, which I really liked, but I was really mad at Slime Rancher too for being more of Slime Rancher, even though it's very, very pretty. If I could go back in time, I wish I didn't play Slime Rancher so I could just play Slime Rancher 2 because it is prettier, but it's the same game. I don't know. It didn't give me anything new. And technically, the bare bones of Hades 2 looks the same as Hades, but like it doesn't. I don't know. It feels different. It feels fresh. Also, why is everybody in that game so hot? Oh my god. I know they're literal gods, but... Bye, Panic. Okay. So I feel like right here, she didn't have a whole lot of like, what is it? What are the kids saying? There's not much aura, and now we're getting that, you know? And that's what I wanted. Payne says, I assume I've used my critique this week? I don't remember what we agreed on. Go to our pinned note. I don't know if we do 2 assignments with you a week or 1 full critique or what. Just let me know. I might have to wait until farther into the stream to add these tears because right now it's going to change the topology too much. I really wish you could use the knife brush on subdivision levels. I understand why you can't. I just wish you could anyway. All right, I can do this. I can do this. I can just use my move brush and hold Alt. There we go. Wait, no, that looks like weird. There we go. This perfectly smooth hemline is killing me. It's so goofy looking. Very good. Aha. What do I want to do with this little top thing? I think it needs to be higher up. Yes, I think correct. Very good. 2 assignments and 1 critique. There you go. This is true. Everybody is hot. Everybody is hot because they are gods. This is true, but I feel like some of them objectively less so than others. Like, oh, that makes sense. The whole point of Hephaestus, the blacksmith guy that Aphrodite ends up with, no, that's a way to put it. He's supposed to be extremely ugly, and he's just average. He's definitely not ugly, but compared to the other gods, I guess so. Emperor says, "It's okay, Mia. Let go of this division levels. Be free." I imagine that in freaking Catfish's voice from Peak. Oh my goodness. That was fun. So in the game Peak, you have a bunch of friends. The whole goal is to get to the peak of the mountain, right? And then if you die, you can spectate as a ghost. And Peak is really funny because when someone's talking, like their little digital mouth moves as well. It's fantastic. But one of our friends, Catfish, when they died, took it very literal, the haunting. I mean, just straight the whole time. Just like, let go, be free. And that's what it reminded me of. Paint says, okay, Hephaestus is still hot though. No, you're right. You're right. My point kind of fell apart as I was saying it. It happens. How are we doing on time? I'm never concerned about like working fast. I'm just concerned about, am I doing anything at all right now? Because every now and then on stream, like an hour will go by and I'm like, hey, you guys tricked me. I am technically at work right now. So I've broken symmetry. We are starting to get fun. Hey, Aloha, is there a way? There's 10 minutes. It's time for Just Lingual's wife art made from his wife. Anyway, Aloha, is there a way to use Sculptress Pro without the larger brush size decreasing the resolution? Asking for me, because like that kind of drives me crazy. Sometimes I like it, but sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I just want it to work like the move brush. I should just use the move brush. I answered my own question. But if you had an answer or solution for that too, that's cool. And I would still like it. So my way to make this not really annoying to print, just by having it connected to the base, which I do think makes a really fun silhouette. I also think having chains from her weapon will be a really nice touch. And that is a very important secondary form that I probably should figure out sooner than later. Oh, Miguel. I agree. Emperor says, I can't, this is talking about the game stream from this last weekend. And this is a very hurtful comment, so prepare yourself. Empress said, I can't believe Mia almost made it out of the volcano. Almost made it to the peak. And then she just didn't bother to jump. It was the worst. I like panicked. I just walked into the lava. I just full on, I mean, it's exactly what it looks like. I was so disappointed. I've made it to the peak officially 0 times. To be fair, I've only played twice. That helps. 2 sessions. I don't know. It was pretty embarrassing. It was extremely embarrassing, actually. but it's okay. I had fun. Just embarrassing. I don't like that. It's too small. Where's the dress? The copy of the dress that does not have subdivision levels. Hello. I want the chains to be visible, but I don't want them to be chunky. That's fine. I can work with that. So I said we could check out your wife's art just lingual when I'm on break, and then I didn't take a break. But right now, I'm not working in a very focused way, so we can consider this my break for all intents and purposes. You can post it in the Discord under... Why are you not doing the thing? Under Tavern livestream. Speaking of, I am so glad that your wife played with us on the weekend just single. She is so fun. That's probably not news to you. Like, you married her and stuff. But yeah, she's really cool. Just Lingual said, I just realized you died essentially the same way both times. I'm so glad you pointed that out. Yeah. Yup. You put it in self-promo. You don't have to do that. Unless you're posting like a paid link. Which if you are, cool, but... Alright. My awesome best friend, has started posting daily every other day, so y'all should follow her. Get that in frickin' have her live stream too. I'm gonna add a very calm follow, peasants. There we go. I have forwarded that into Tavern live stream. Oh, and I didn't forward the link. That's great. I only just forwarded your message of follow, peasants. That's useless. Thanks. Here, I'm fixing it. There we go. Also, me not following your wife doesn't mean literally anything. I'm just not on Instagram. I have an account. I'm even my husband and housemates, we're all in a group chat on Instagram, and they send memes and fun stuff. And yeah, my husband shows it to me because I am so out of the loop. I can't be on Instagram. It like figured me out so fast. Reels, like it would show me the best combination of like cosplay, like serious cosplay, thirst trappy cosplay, horse stuff, and art, and then video game news. And it was way too much of my time. So I was like, oh, I can't do that. And it's like, just set a timer, Mia. Nope, I just ignore it. I am belligerent. Anyway, the rest of you should follow. She is very cool. All right, this needs to be up here. Then it can do a little gap thing. Good. I duplicate this again. Remember, we see when is it too much, and then we dial back. But the default is a lot. It'd be kind of cool if for some reason it was wrapped into the fabric right here. I think that's really neat. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I don't need a sticky note that says jump button. I know what it is. I just didn't use it. Who started this discussion? Who am I supposed to blame? Ah, it was Empress. I will remember this. Mia will remember that. Alright, most of her hair is not visible, but I don't feel brave enough to just make her bald in the back because I feel like when I'm painting, I notice that it will ruin the model for me. So I'm going to keep her hair. I'm also going to give her a little bit more hair because more is more. I'm just not convinced by this piece of fabric right here. It's not convincing me that it exists. Why? Probably because it's not, oh, I don't need copies of dresses causing problems. Be gone. It's not layering in a way that I believe. That made it worse. Undo, 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 undo. All right, well, it bested me once. I'll come back to it later. Just Linkwell says, Instagram was the first social media company to hire gambling experts to lock in how to keep people engaged, if I remember right. That sounds right. That sounds right. Empress says, every time Mia speaks, I imagine the tabard going, we know what you are. Oh my gosh, that meme cracks me up. And I'm actually not even totally sure what you're joking about specifically right now, and now I'm too afraid to ask. So. Oh, that's right, and she has a demon tail as well. I almost forgot. I knew I was going to forget that too. That's why Confusingly, I think I put the tails under items because I didn't know where else to put them. I sure did. And we'll get it all detailed and snazzed up later. But not now. Just going to put this back here so I don't forget about it. Nice. That is true. That is a good point, Empress. Okay, so Otaka, I'm not sure if you're around at this exact moment, but if you are, I don't want to shoehorn your character too much, but I could add a fun Easter egg. This lantern I made custom for your last request for the Butterfly Fae child. So if you want, I can include this item on this character. Having it on her like hip as like a belt and make it a little more eldritchy, I can remove the flower. I feel like it might suit this character really well, but if you think that's a little too samey, I totally understand. Something I can do is just actually gonna have it like half buried in the base as like a cool little Easter egg. Totally up to you. Figured I'd bring it up since we kind of have a cool opportunity to do something with that. Gonna make this a little bit shorter so then I can make the wispies even longer. Gonna make it as wispy as possible while still fitting nicely on a 25mm base. You guys know I have strong feelings about that. They must fit on the base, as little overhang as possible. Not for 3D printing, but because if you play with other players, it's annoying when your character is like whacking anyone they're next to. Otaka said, I just remember the tail as well. But there's so much going on already. If in the end you feel it's better without the tail, feel free. Sounds good. I might not include it because it will look like a wisp of the cape, but it could very easily be included as a subtle detail. So I'll think about it. Otaka says, I mean, it could be a will-o-wisp in the lantern. That would be witchy. That'd be very witchy. That'd be very cool. So if I was going to do that, I would remove the flower on here because though it's very cute, it's too cute. That one's not even connected. So for the will-o-wisp, would that just be like a headcanon that you know that it's there? Or would you like a physical representation? I'm trying to talk slowly so I can have by myself time to do the thing that I'm trying to describe. Because something that could be kind of cool is having the will-o-wisp like leaking out of the lantern in some way. Okay, I understand you can't work without subdivision levels or with it. Just delete the subdivision levels on your own. Thank you. I'm just sassing ZBrush, don't mind me. But yeah, I could do something kind of like this. Could be a fun little thing to paint too. It'd be very witchy. I knew I was gonna have fun with this character, and I am having fun. Otaka says, I don't know, up to you. Sounds good to me. Then it's gonna stay there because it looks really cool. Oh, I should save. Thanks, Empress. Your days are no longer numbered. Chloe Will-O-Wisp, self-insert. My name on like every site ever is Chloe Willow. So yeah. Okay, never mind. That looks awesome. Yes, please. I got you. I was gonna keep it anyway. What is this called? Fairy Warlock. You could always print a bigger version of this and try some, what is it? OSL? Object Source Lighting? SOL. Nope, that's shit out of luck. I'm pretty sure it's OSL, but I've never said it out loud, so it doesn't sound like anything. You know, where you paint light effects. This could be a cool point to do that from. I'm gonna have this kind of tucked back right here. It'll make for a really cool detail and it's a callback to one of your other characters, so everybody liked that. Because I've talked about how I like to include little like Easter eggs and secrets in my models. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And then some are more literal. Like I sculpt the number 14 pretty much everywhere and minute details that you would never really notice. Like on the Stickbug Adventurer, under his chin has the number 14. Oh, that adds so much to the character, I think. Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, Otaka said, I just remembered, on Sunday I went on a walk while waiting for a restaurant to open and found a book named German. Ein Mädchen namens Willow. A girl named Willow. In a bookstore window. I'll post it in Discord. I would like to see that. That sounds great. This horn has completely fallen apart structurally. It looks like a tube, and I don't like it. But I like the general shape. I'm gonna really challenge myself to do a better job here. Ah, that's partly why. You got all goofed up on one side. That will do it. That will do it. Oh, cool, I see it. How cute! And that's funny because in a lot of like pretty much any game that I play, I always give my character like red hair or like brownish red, so that's really funny. It's really fitting. Oh my goodness. It's also a hairstyle that I use a lot, like right now. That's great. Wow, that's awesome. Hello, Duke. Greetings, fellow nerds. Now that's a good intro. Alright, this horn's looking way better. This character is looking really cool. I'm pretty happy with this. Sean says, I'm actually doing good progress on this sketch. You should share, you should share. Kind of scooting up some of these folds because I find it's like the high bust line on this is partly what makes this look so willowy, and I'm just putting that together. Yeah, that's cool. I'm really taking my time with this character, just having a lot of fun. Sounds good. I look forward to it. Oh, tomorrow a handful of us are planning to hang out in Discord voice chat and paint some minis. So that sounds like fun to you. Just kind of keep an eye out. I think people will kind of be trickling in and out throughout the day. Very cool. All right, kind of just taking my time with this, getting a little caught up in some details, but if it's fun, I just let myself do it. I want to start grabbing some of these weapons. We have this spike here and the scythe. The scythe is awesome. I have a scythe already, but meh, it's not that cool. That's really cool. Oh, you know what? I did a better version of my scythe somewhat recently. I forgot. Never mind. But I still might do a more fun blade on it. This will be pretty quick and easy to make. So I'll make that from scratch. For now, I'm just gonna grab the entire scythe, which I feel like is right in front of me, but I don't see it. Why are you just by yourself over there? Who knows? Is there a scythe on this screen and I'm just not seeing it? Or did I do that thing where I deleted it? So there we go, there it is. I was like, sometimes I do this thing where if I want to make a new version of something, I will just delete it from my asset library, so it forces me to make a new version, which is the worst. So I was like, oh no, I hope that's not what I did. It wasn't. We're good. Ah, it's a war pick. That makes a lot of sense for the proportions. Yes, yes. Thank you for specifying that. So it is not going to be Grim Reaper sized. That makes 1000% more sense. Is this all just one piece? Yeah, I need to make a new. I need to redo this. Here. First of all, it's just going to be smaller in general. Oh boy, can we just get you working at all? I'm just going to Dynamesh it into a blob and get some good proportions here. There was a game I played recently where I literally picked a war pick. So I don't know why I didn't recognize this. I'm going to block out the weapon on stream, but I'm not going to finalize it on stream. And that is because I have some new techniques that I want to try out. And though I like sharing that process sometimes, I've learned that when it's hard surface or a dragon, I don't like sharing that with you guys. Everything else is fun. Those two things, no. I love that you included silhouette pictures as opposed to like a normal detailed weapon. I don't know how intentional that was, but silhouette pictures are like one of the best things you can share to get your point across. Frickin' cool. There we go. Jack is great. Obscura says, peasant see, peasant follow. Good peasant. Also, Obscura, aka Jack, such a good artist. Oh my goodness. They've been sharing a lot more work in our server recently, and I'm very happy. Alright, yeah, a war pick is more on that size. There we go. Aloha said, I will do horrendous things to the person who created top chat. I know, right? Like, I guess I can, like, comprehend it for streamers that are, like, really, like, big and the chat's just going the whole time. I don't know. It still doesn't make any sense, honestly. You were sending me in a tailspin, Duke. I am so confused. You said, Empress, ever since a month ago that everyone was missing me as dad in chat, I automatically go to live chat as soon as I come in. My dad wasn't in chat. I feel like you guys would have, I feel like I would have noticed that. Anyway, sounds good. Bye, Miguel. Thanks for tuning in. I'll start mentioning it at the top of the stream, or I'll make that Aloha and Reaper's job. Yes, I am making that Aloha and Reaper's job. Alright, we have one weapon. Let's go make the other one. This one will be pretty easy. Alright, so we're making this weapon right now. And I have a pretty clear idea on how to do it, so. I'm just going to block out most primitive shapes. Gonna make this ring pretty chunky. Very good. And then next, it's just gonna be a bunch of cylinders. Cylinder 1. And I'm turning off perspective too, I find that helps. I'm also gonna turn on symmetry on the x-axis as well as to the front and back, which is either Y or Z. It depends on my orientation. And I never remember which orientation I'm in. That was wrong. It's Z right now. There we go. So now I zero mesh by half. It will make it symmetrical in all those angles. All right, let's make that a little flat part to connect. Also gonna make this ring wider against all chunky, 3D printable. Very good. Can make this next section larger, mask it inside, and there we go. Oh, this ring is all wonky. Don't be like that. There. All right, so we have that top part that's kind of like the handle. Don't underestimate how important these little details are of like size change. I'm changing it a little bit just so it kind of stacks better. Hello, Jack, welcome in. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jack did not make it to the peak either, but that was a huge upset. Nobody saw that coming. Gosh, that was such a fun stream. Everyone just like, I don't know. That's a lot of people to play together for the first time, other than the beginning of being a fucking disaster. I cannot believe you guys did not add each other on Steam or do the things or organize it all. It was a mess. But once we all got in the game finally, everyone got along so well. I mean, I kind of figured it would take time to get everyone situated. That's why I thought we were going to start at 11:45 to then stream at noon. But Juslingle didn't show up until 12:17. So, I forgot, Juslingle. Your name is now 17 forever to mark your shame. So, hello 17. The problem with holding grudges is you have to remember that you're holding a grudge, and I'm not really good at that. So, whoops. The intent was there, the spite was there, just not the execution. All right, that's looking very like the shape. Usually I don't take weapon references quite this literally, but I just really like this, so I'm making it pretty much exactly. These are going to connect directly. Oh, they do in the original design too. And then to get this little thin piece here, I think I can just take the ring again, cut it in half, and just kind of smear it over there. Part of what makes it look cool is that the ends flare upwards. So as long as I do that, kind of just smush it around. And then polish my features. There we go. Got a cool little shape. Instead of doing this, I think I'm going to do little ties. So let's duplicate this and have some like little leather wraps. I got plans. Empress says, seeing you go chunky reminds me that now, since I'm an FDM hottie, I need to go over my chunk fear. Yes, you do. This is true. I really think it couldn't have worked out better, honestly, Empress. I think it will be a really good challenge for you as an artist and kind of round out your style too by pushing you somewhere where you wouldn't normally. I'm excited. Something else I encourage you to do, Empress, if you're going to start designing minis, just do yourself a huge favor, and you are now a 32mm scale. You are not 28. Just go heroic scale. It's going to help you out so much. There we go. You can always tell as the stream goes on, I get more quiet because it means I'm getting hungry. All right, cool. We have the weapon. Stab. All right, I'm gonna go to merge visible. There we have it. I don't want this. Weapon 1, weapon 2. This thing is freaking cool. and then grab my chain brush and make sure my picker is set to 1Z, not continuous. And this will just be this cool little thing that kind of like loops around and does cool stuff. I'm obviously going to be very, very careful on the way that I place these. But for now, it's just going to be a little swirly to look cool. She's looking pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. Awesome. Ataka says, oh Mia, the ref was just for the concept of the blade on the chain, so design's totally up to you if you want to use a ref, feel free. Yeah, I decided to use it because I just really liked it. And Bruce says, heroic, that's scary. Puts into notes to research. It just means that your foot to eye level is 32 millimeters, so 28. You can proportion things exactly the same. It just lets you scale up a little bit when you print them. But I get you. We'll get into all of that when you're back in mentorship. You can ask all the gritty questions. Be good stuff. There we go. That's really girly. Jack says, what's your take on giving the same figure on 32 millimeter and 75 millimeter? My take is that's totally fine because of the way that I design. You asked a question that's very specific and I have a very specific answer. Okay. It'd be convenient if I had the model. I don't think I do. I'm looking for small Thor. Where are you? I don't have small Thor. We just have big Thor. But yeah, this is my 72 millimeter, I think. It might be 75. Anyway. It's super detailed, super gorgeous, printed beautifully, and it prints beautifully at 28 as well. I did not paint both, but I printed both side by side and they were just super crispy. It depends on the artist. It really depends. And I don't mean like, oh, skill issue. I just mean style and the way they do things. You would think with the way that I design that this wouldn't work. I would think anyway, but I was very surprised at how good it looked. So yeah. Cool stuff. Why did Aloha say stop? Which oh, yeah, so YouTube does this thing now where it's constantly translating everything you guys say. It's really annoying. I can't turn it off. So if you look at this, it looks like Aloha said stop in all caps. And I was like, oh, did I don't know. And no, it's which. Oh my goodness. I know when YouTube is doing it though, because it puts this little like kanji letter next to an English alphabet A. It's super annoying. Oh, YouTube. Yeah, but my take on that is print it. The artist, if the artist is providing 28 millimeter and 75 or 32, whatever, they should be printing their own stuff as is. So if they're satisfied with the quality at both levels, the more power to them. My biggest opinion is just be printing your stuff. Yeah. If you're directly selling your stuff, if you are being hired to do something, then it's your client's problem. I hope that made sense, because that was a very important distinction. Yeah, with the weapons, it's busy in a good way. We're gonna nope on the tail, and then let's give these wings a look. Thinking. I might pose her right now. The chain is wrapped around her clothes in a way that it looks like it'd be part of the accessories, but the blade can be unattached and used just as a throwing dagger. Very cool. I already like this pose, but with the weapon in one hand and the other raised like in the ref. Oops. So this right here would be the war pick. No. So the blade on the chain might just look good resting on her hip anyway, part of this. The war pick being in this hand, because I love the raised hand. I don't want to put anything in that hand. I'm just trying to figure out where I can put this war pick without it looking weird. This is cool though. That chain hand. I mean, all of it's cool. I'm just thinking here. I like the pose a lot too. I'm just trying to figure out how to position the weapons. I must just start doing the pose. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Duke said, also, don't be afraid to slow down your print speed as well in order to ensure those finer details. Yes, on FDM, low and slow. Otaka says, I like chain hand. Yes. Yeah, me too. So if we do the open hand with the chain, where war pick? Where does that go then? I can tie it up on her head. Does print speed matter in resin printers? No, but yes. Yes, because on lift speed. So if you have your lift speed super fast, sometimes it'll cause problems. War pick can be not in hand, but on the body somewhere. Doesn't have to be a battle pose. This is true. This is true. Okay, okay. Your character is so cool. I'm just reviewing her face really quick before we continue. I'm gonna make the bridge of her nose just a touch smaller. It's pretty minor. I think for a fairy, I just want her chin to be a little sharper. Oh, that's not the right brush. There we go. Just going in with some more fine details right now. Also, if you have any preferences on differences for the face, please let me know. I'm open to that for this model. Sometimes I'm not open to that. But for this one, yes. I ask as I hide the face immediately. It'll be back in a second. I know faces are really small on minis, but it's still fun. I tried to mute that. Stupid sneeze. Okay, got so close. All right, moving on. A little bit of detail. I really liked moving her hair around her horns. I think that actually looks really cool. Just having that like bit of a split right there, I think is really cool. Yeah, I have a chronically fake sounding sneeze. Just achoo. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad it's not like a yell, but like I feel like I just anyway. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to talk about it. I really, really like having her hair kind of separated here. It does make it look a little bald underneath, but I can kind of do a happy medium here. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I really like this. What about her expression? Something maybe a bit more cheeky, you know? Thank you, Sean. I'm weird about my sneeze. Otoka says, maybe just slightly crazy looking. Oh! Okay, yeah, I can do that. I think in the ref, she already has a slight grin and big eyes that look a tiny bit crazy. Okay, for this one, I did not zoom in on her face. Okay, I can absolutely do that. But like just a little bit. I have her very kind of stoic right now. See, this is why I'm glad I asked. So we're gonna raise the eyebrow a bit, kind of like this. She won't look sad by the time I'm done. Trust the process. So not expecting you to say that for some reason. Which I should know because you were even considering doing like full crazy like bomb throwing. That changes everything. Maybe bandages on her chain hand because she wounds herself when using a hit. Oh, that'd be cool. I was already thinking of doing some like really simple wraps on her feet anyway, so that would match really nicely. Doing a bunch of like tiny little adjustments, but I'm really thinking about what I want here. Pain says, I hate sculpting eyes, trying to do it with you, and eek. Step one, make sure you have that eyeball its own piece. Do not let that become anything other than a sphere that is slightly kind of more protruded and like where the lens is at, but it needs to be its own piece. Don't mess with it. Another thing you need to know is that there's certain pieces of the eye that will always, always, always exist. And I'm just moving those proportions. I'm gonna do these each in a different color. There, these are the 5 lines of the eye. These will always be there. Always. You can change the like size, the length of each one, but there should be a change of direction on each one of these. Does that make sense? Here, let me kind of pin this over here and I'll show you what happens when you get rid of some of these. So right now, some of them are more subtle than others, but they all exist. Let's say we're going to get rid of this pink line here. We're going to have it all just smear together. That's what happens. So I still am keeping it because I'm just such a habit. We just have this big happy face line. I mean, it looks insane. It's cool. Kind of works for the specific character a little bit. But that's not it. Man, I kind of still kept the freaking lines there a little bit. There, I introduced a new one. Haha, I broke it. I did it. When you know the rules, sometimes it's really hard to stop doing them. But demonstrating this kind of did give me a crazier look and a bigger eye, which is perfect. That's both things that I want. So like right here, I'm moving this lower lid, and you'll notice that when I change the shape of the eye here, I grab at this corner, and it's not an accident. I'm doing it because that's where this direction change is going to happen. I hope that was helpful, because the information in there is good. I just have to figure out how to communicate it. That looks like the big thing from the first season of Wednesday, the big eyes. I didn't see that show, but I know what you're talking about. Oh, you shared your sketch. I want to see. Yeah, it's looking great. She's still got details to fill. She's one of my Zelda OCs, a royal guard, but also a fey dragon. If not, also a dragon, then what's the point? I love that. That's fun. I think I'm gonna keep this big, dramatic, kind of crazy eye, and then use the eyelid to, or the eyelash to kind of soften it. But then we kind of get this win-win here. It was. I need to put it in practice. Oh, I'm so glad it was helpful. I think having this kind of creased up and this side pulled up. I want her to look like she knows something that you don't, even if it's not true. Okay. Might get this pose rolling sooner than later. And by that, I mean right now. Probably some of my favorite hair. Aloha says Mia should print every single vault model and line them up on the wall behind her. That's insane. No. That being said, if Ricky is watching right now, I don't think he is, but if he is, he could post a picture of our loft where we have like hundreds of prints done already. This is why we have a collector's crate in the first place. Because we were like, we have all these minis, what do we do with them? And I'm like, we will sell them. I was really worried that if we sold minis in any capacity, that people on Patreon that pay to be able to sell prints to my models would feel like I was competing with them. I don't know why, but I was like really, really genuinely concerned about this. And that has obviously not been an issue at all. What I actually want to do right here is build a shelf and put plants there. But I guess I could have a mini or two. Oh, I can do the hand wraps now, before I forget. And we don't need this actual like glove part, just the wraps. So I can delete that. And line that up. Doesn't need to be perfect, but it definitely needs to be on her hand. There we go. I'm actually not going to worry about her feet. They can just stay feet. Alright, as far as her hand that's doing something, do I have a hand that's already kind of posed for that? Not really. That's fine. So right before I save a model, I always make sure, or not save, pose a model, I make sure to save a copy of it. Because sometimes it's fun to revisit old projects and then take it in a totally different direction. It's best to do that right before the pose. I thought I saved this. No? It's okay. Okay. Alright, I'm going to pose. But first, I'm going to do a small stretch. And then I am going to not look at the model for like at least 30 seconds. So when I look at it again, I'm really pushing how quickly I can spin this around. But it's always good to give your eyes a break from your model. I'm just gonna close my eyes. And then look at it again. Generally speaking, this takes a few hours to really work. But sometimes if I really try to not think about the model at all, it's kind of like not thinking about the word penguin. That's a good idea. I'll try to not think about penguins right now. And that will then make me not think about the model. Why aren't they just all black? Why do penguins even have a white belly? Wouldn't they want to soak in as much like heat and sun as possible? Why wouldn't they just be all black? I don't know. Alright, penguin thought over. Okay, she does look very young adult. This is great. She doesn't look crazy at all. I'm hoping the pose and a small head tilt is going to help with that a lot. I didn't detail that horn. It looks stupid. Let me just throw some texture on that, and I'm probably going to just completely redo it later. Because I don't know. Horns are something that I've always wanted to get a little bit better at, and then I don't. Don't know how relatable that is, but you gotta pick little trials for yourself, you know? And that's one that I picked for myself. Just want some light texture. You just do the thing. Thanks. That's gonna look so much better with like plane changes and stuff. When I want to do that, I take a 15-minute nap. That is very smart. Nap time on stream. All right, did I rename everything? Yes. Let me go ahead and upload that backup. That's another thing that I do. The second that I save this copy that I might revisit later, I never do, but if I might revisit it later, I then have a backup of that work. If you are an artist, professionally, or I just mean if you sell your work and that it's physically painful if you lose your work, and if you save it onto your computer, that is not a backup. That is not a plan. You need to upload at least one other place. I don't care if it's Google Drive, I don't care if it's Gumroad in a weird zip that you replace yourself every now and then and just don't have it for sale. I don't care if it's a hard drive. You have to be doing it, and not once a month as you create. And just having one, honestly, isn't, it's the bare minimum. More copies, more backups. Where do I put this? Why am I not Patreon releases archive? Ah, I found it. I was like, I do this all the time. Why can't I remember where I put this? Here we go. Beautiful. There we go. Empress has an external drive, my PC, and Google Drive. Exact same setup I have. Good job. Someone new is here, and that makes Master Splinter, like from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter? Anyway, camouflage for something looking up at them in the water. I don't know if that is on topic, something that I said, but I don't think so. Either way, fun, weird first comment. Welcome in. All right, let's get this pose. I'm going pretty much doing this pose here, this top reference image, and I'll be doing so using Transpose Master. Z plugin, Transpose Master, T-pose mesh. Think of it as like a start button and an end button, not nonsense. Even to me now, T-pose mesh and sub-T makes like no sense. Aloha said, I'd rather jump out of my window than deal with OneDrive. Oh yeah, oh, gosh. Don't use OneDrive, that's worse than any backup. That's anti-backup. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is turn off perspective, and we are going to tilt her head down. I'm just selecting pieces one at a time with my mask. There we are. Oh, talking about the penguin belly being white. I am so sorry. I immediately forgot I was doing that. Great comment. I'm so sorry. I was just like, what? I can't believe I immediately completely forgot about that. Anyway. So it is camouflage. That makes a ton of sense because white's a lot harder to see than black. That's super cool, actually. Thank you. I will now remember that forever. I can tell my brain was like, this is critical information. I will also remember because I embarrassed myself by making fun of you for having a weird off-topic comment when it was very on-topic. All right. That little head tilt down and over looks crazy. I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of stare, but it's like looking like through your eyelids, you know? Always has like this creepier look. So there you go. A little creepy. She also has her right shoulder a bit higher. I'll just say left so I don't get confused. Let me grab this. And this. Master Splinter says, that's the one. The previous comment was about penguins. Glad to be here. Truly wonderful sculpts. And you're so nice. I'm so sorry I sassed the shit out of you. Welcome in. Hey monkey, how's it going? I really, really love what I do. It's a good time. Oops, caps lock. Enthusiastic entrance. Was not out of norm for you, monkey. That was pretty spot on. Were you the one that posted in our Discord after we all played Peak together, being like, oh man, I wish we were playing Peak again? Like, you guys can do that. You guys can organize without me being there, I think. It was kind of a disaster when I tried to facilitate it for everyone. But just so you guys know, like, you guys can go be friends. Like, I thought it was really, really cute and silly. All right, I'm just gonna hide that entirely. And now I'm going to, something I like to do while I'm in Transpose Master is, though I have all these pieces and they're all polygroup, that's great. What you want here, don't be afraid to make new polygroups. So like the limbs, for example, I'm gonna make this arm, bam, that's one piece. And what's really cool is I can now grab this, split it again, and now I have like really good control over her arm here. And if you look at this and you think, but Mia, that elbow is gonna look horrendous. Yes, that's all I have to say to that. Yes, you will always have to pose elbows, knees, and armpits as a general, not pose, resculpt as a general rule of thumb. Which is unfortunate because elbows, knees, and armpits don't look very good. So it can be very frustrating to make an aesthetic elbow or armpit. So I'm looking at this pose in my reference, very much so as a reference. I might go for a slightly lower energy or more puppeteer-like. We'll see. I'm undecided. Yeah, that's true. Monkey said, I'm down any Saturday. All right. Just Single says, I also went to Peak, but alas, I also have work and school. This is true. Oh, that's right. Otaka wasn't able to join us. Maybe this weekend, right? I feel like you haven't been to D&D in like 6 months, Otaka. Like, it's already been 2 weeks, right? Your plans are done. So maybe this Saturday. Monkey said, I've been playing Aska, ASKA, lately, which is another caps lock title name, oddly enough. Oh, it is. I actually don't know anything about that. What is this? What is this new game you speak of? That's actually a good topic in general. What are y'all playing right now? I am curious to know. I think I already told you guys. Yeah, I've been playing Hades 2. And the only reason that I am playing it, really, other than my friend recommending it, is because Game Pass is doing that deal where you can get premium for $1 for 2 weeks, and I'm like, yeah, I'll play $1. I'll play for $1. And then when I went to pay for it, my card was like, you have $1 in credit. Do you want to use it? I'm like, yeah, free. Which I feel super silly over because like it's a really good deal and I'm just being cheap. But I have to be cheap because I recently spent $100 in yarn on an absolutely ridiculous frenzy. I only needed like 3 skeins. Anyway, and it was like, oh, if you spend like $80 more, you get free shipping. And I'm like, that's a good deal. It wasn't. But anyway, I have a ton of yarn and I'm really excited to make a bunch of stuff. I'm the kind of person where it's really hard to like make a sale. But once I've been sold on something, wow, am I not difficult to upsell. Goodness gracious. It's like I'm looking for any reason. I'm like, sure, I'll spend more. Okay, I did not need to do that in that order. Let's just pose the arm. Let's do this and not take a half hour to do a single pose. Yeah, good job, me. Nope, that's the opposite of what I wanted. There you go. Also, for anyone who needs to hear it, when you're working in 3D, your pose is going to look like garbage until it is done. I'm going to say that again. Garbage until done. Posing is very humbling and weird. When you're sketching, you'll get these moments of like, ooh, that was like an energetic line. That was a nice flow, right? You don't get that in posing. You're just like weirdness until it's done. So don't be weird. Don't rush the process, because then your pose is for sure going to suck. It's okay. If you're getting really frustrated with it, walk away. Take a deep breath. Or go do the pose in the mirror. Just double check it. That'll help too. Oh, Otaka said, I started playing Little Witch in the Woods and tried the Pragmata demo. People like that game, yeah. We'll buy the full game once. It's not so expensive. Very nice. Yeah, I spied on you, Otaka. I saw that you were playing Little Witch in the Woods, and then I saw you only had 9 minutes in it. And I'm like, I hope you didn't dislike it. I like that game a lot. Nifty's here. Hello, ladies. Yes, I am lady. So hello, lady. I think everyone else in here is a dude, except for Empress, which I guess I don't technically know. I just assumed. No, I think I asked at one point. Okay. Just Thingle says, I also need to delete Belatra probably, because it's too tempting to have during class. Nah. No, we're good. Just keep it. Dude, Belatra is so fun. I did not expect Pragmata to be well received. I saw what I thought looked like an attempt at a BioShock knockoff or something. I don't know. And then, whenever I see like little girl characters, I get like defensive and weird about it. I'm like, please don't make this, please be cool. Please don't be weird about it. You know what I mean? Anyway, they were super cool. It's super cute. I saw a clip of the little girl in Pragmata like dancing to something that sounded like it was like dubstep or anyway, it absolutely melted my heart. It was the cutest shit ever. It was great. She does like goofy little kid stuff, like I don't know. It's stuff that like I remember doing as like a little girl. Not like obviously fighting monsters and robots, but like just like the goofy spontaneity, like the sweetness, like the whimsy. I don't know. I think they crushed it. It's really nice to see. I really like that it wasn't creepy. It's just awesome. And more importantly, the game sounds like it's not a buggy mess, which is awesome, you know? Everybody liked that. Empress says, I am indeed a she, her, whimsy. That's my new pronouns as well. Hijacking that. She, her, whimsy. That's great. And that's right. No, I've asked you that before. There was one person, it was not Aloha, that I did assume and I got it wrong and I felt sad. So, yeah. And Monkey is very much so indeed a human. Can confirm. Reaper is also a lady. Confirmed. And then someone being on topic, blessed. Splinter, what scale for the final mini do you typically sculpt for? 75, 32? We just touched on that. That's a great question. So I sculpt for 28 millimeter. That being said, I do scale them up for 75 every now and then, and they print super, super nice. So yeah, obviously. I wish I had the 28 millimeter scale, dude, for comparison. I have so many minis. If you have a 3D printer, you should check out my work. You might already be supporting my work. You sound like you know me. Anyway, I have a link in the description. Ataka said, when I first saw Pragmata, I was amazed and loved it, but there was a trend where AAA games looked incredible and then were trashed when they released, so I didn't get my hopes up. Yeah, this game like just met the hype, you know, which feels really good. I like to like things. I really, really do. Which I have two. Oh goodness, what I said is true. Also, my favorite series of all time is Dragon Age. RIP. I did like Veilguard. I'm the one person who's like, it was still good, but I understand problems. And I also super like Pokemon, and Scarlet and Violet was a disaster too, which I also still really enjoyed the game and beat it several times. But as someone who likes to like things, I get how difficult it is, like when your series are just come out like hot trash, you know? So it's nice to see some new games coming out that are just killer. Hades 2, Silksong, both fantastic. I don't like Silksong, but it's a good game. I just cannot handle it. I haven't even played it. I played some of Hollow Knight, and I'm like, this is grade A bullshit. This is way too hard. But yes. I cannot like games and know they are great. That's also important. Yes. Are all your prints in one piece, or do you cut and key sometimes? They are all in one piece. I have only cut and keyed very specific items, primarily being my pirate ship. Fun fact, I don't know if it is anymore, but Alegu paid me for the rights to use my pirate ship as one of their Amazon listings. So if you see a pirate ship for a resin ad on Amazon, I made that. It's on Patreon too. They didn't like buy the rights like from me. It's a license, so they can use it, but it's still mine. To buy my art so I don't have rights to it, it's very, very expensive. So I don't offer that really ever. Yeah. This is a great comment. I want everyone to hear this. Sean says, and Sean's a huge Legend of Zelda fan. Zelda has lately been ripped apart by folks I used to follow. So I unfollowed them. That's huge. I think you can get this impression that like, maybe things that you like are bad just because that's kind of the discourse around it, but doesn't mean that it's true. Also, hot take, having good taste is severely overrated. So what if you like games that everyone else hates? Sucks to be them. Also, objectively, going online to rant about games that you dislike is weird. And if you're doing that, you're weird. If you want to vent because a game hurt your feelings because you thought it was going to be good and it sucked, talk to your friends. Arguing with strangers on the internet, I think, is really weird behavior. Like, severely weird behavior. If one of you guys, one of my regular peasants in here, does that, I am open to you enlightening me otherwise on how that's not weird behavior, but I'm gonna go with it's weird. Unless you also rant about things you like with strangers, then that's fine. There must be a balance. So I've always really liked my work, obviously, because I'm the one making it. But recently I've been painting a lot of my own minis, and damn, they print well and paint well. So you guys might hear a little bit more advertising, I guess. Not really, just like a renewed confidence in my stuff. If you have a 3D printer, you need to check out my Patreon. It is the best deal out there, hands down. $15 a month, you can request a model every month and get access to over 1,000 minis. That's characters, terrain, monsters, and they're awesome. Simple as that. And I want to see you guys having, you know, more fun in your campaigns, and getting lost in rabbit holes and not being able to find pieces that you need can be frustrating. So this is a win-win. There was someone in Discord just the other day that was like, they're not always a patron, they kind of just hop in and out as they need stuff. And it was cool because I saw them post in Discord like, 9 times out of 10, I need a niche model or just any model. I look in the vault and it's there. And it's cool, it feels good. I think their name is Awkward Butter, which is like the funniest username ever. Shout out to them. It's my husband.
Hello!
Hello!
I'm here to grab some minis to take pictures
Oh, is it my work in progress half painted minis?
Yeah.
I'm painting the horse based off of one of my neighbor's horses because I'm a dork. Bye. Otaka says, some of my friends shit on Stardew Valley and Hollow Knight for having pixel graphics. I hate them. Just kidding. That's great. Oh, man. Monkey said, deletes rant about how bad Starfield was and how it hurt me in most ways. I liked Starfield. I would chill for Mia. Oh, thanks. That's cute. Hearts for Ricky. Oh, it's been a hot minute since Hearts for Ricky. Oh, and he won't even know what's happening. I'll let him know later. Oh, Empress was saying that you haven't seen Basement Man in a while. There he is. You saw him. He was on screen, right? Yeah, he had to have been. Yeah. He's very much so real still. I will never get over the fact that people thought Mr. M3DM in my Discord was a bot. Nope. Real man. Okay, she's definitely looking creepier. Good. Very good. Alright, where is she looking? I do want her, like, looking at the camera or something. I don't mind if it's, like, creepy looking at the camera, but I do want this to make a little bit more sense. I don't know where her head would tilt if I was doing this. I go with the low hand. What would the up hand feel like? Fucking weird. So, low hand. Daily reminder to do the pose that you're drawing and or sculpting. You don't have to stand up and do the whole pose. Just like do literally any of it. Also, if she's reaching forward with this hand, it should be way more front facing. I can do that. Because she's kind of leading with it. Alright, I don't want the sleeve to move because gravity. And I need to pose her hand to have her fingers kind of like gesturing in some way. Because currently like this, it's reminding me of that very, very, very niche early 2000s, what was that cat dance thing? Someone knows what I'm talking about. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's reminding me a little bit of that right now. And I don't think that's what Otaka was wanting. Callie, you know what I'm talking about. I know someone does. That is true. Otaka says, I don't have an opinion on Starfield. More of that. People just saying more of I don't know or I don't have an opinion is so underrated. Very acceptable. But I remember Baldur's Gate 3 coming out about the same day. And if that's not heavy competition, that can make you look bad. I don't know what it is. Very true. Very true. Yes, that would be it, Johns. That would be it. I am a vintage member. I know this. Oh, goodness. Oh, Ricky sent me pictures of my minis that are work in progress. Speaking of, we have a painting competition. You guys should paint. No one submitted yet so far. I know some people are working on stuff, but if one person submits, I am still running the competition. Whoever submits will just win. I don't care. I knew it'd take a bit too to get people like in the painting competition habit. But yeah, again, it's work in progress. It's just 2 colors right now. But I did this one so far. Also just started Cow and Pack Mule. All of these are Town and Tavern models, so they're all eligible for the competition. Obviously, I'm not submitting to my own competition. I just thought it'd be fun to paint some critters, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, that's the thumbnail for today. But yeah, paint some minis. You get a free month of Legendary or a free priority ticket. Just Single says, we painted last night for the painting comp. Awesome. Okay, never mind. There's going to be some competition. There's not going to be just one person. Especially because Just Single said we. And if I remember correctly, his wife's a really good painter. So watch out. I think you guys have a week left to submit. Yeah. Meditating Monkey says, pull out a mini. Slaps on paint slap. I win. Hey, if we had no entries but one, that was how that would work. Sean says, paint Tavern related stuff. Yeah, the collection, town, and tavern, which I know is confusing because of Tavern. But it has to be in the collection, town, and tavern, which is a huge collection, so you would have options. Do I remember what I called that page? I do. 1 second. I should probably show you guys how I'm finding this, because this is very relevant. Oh look, website. Go to Vault. Town and tavern. Which So yeah, anything from this. The post said till the 22nd of April. That is tomorrow. Get on it, y'all. Good Lord. Anything from here. Even if you don't finish painting it, like, just get her done. I believe in you guys. Doesn't have to be perfect. We gave you guys like 10 days to paint for this competition. Ooh, we really didn't give you very much time. I'll remember that. So we're doing a painting hangout tomorrow, so that would probably be a good time to finish that up too. Oh, Just Single said we've both won mini paint competitions. I guess everyone else should just quit. No, I'm just kidding. And they mentioned they're also both beginners. Yeah, it's about doing, for sure. Oh, awesome. I'm glad Otaka's going to participate too. Yes. I'm excited. All right, so we're gonna do a combination of wind, anti-gravity, magic goodness for the cape. Oh, perfect. Painting competition is being extended till the 27th. So you guys know what that means, right? Paint it today or tomorrow as if it was due. Do not start painting on the 26th. Ricky, don't even tell them it's been extended. I know how they are. Paint. Thank you. I know how you guys are. You're like, oh, I have a week. Oh, that's funny. Also, you can either post your submission in Discord or you can email me. Either is fine. All of you dorks are in Discord, so I know what you're gonna do. Hey! Monkey's like, I win. This would be a perfectly viable submission. Genuinely. Except it's not Tower Tavern, and I didn't make that model. I'm pretty sure that's Miguel's. Other than those two very small things. See, Just Single said I will procrastinate 100% now. Another 6 days of rest, guys. Let's go. Awesome. She looks much more crazy than she did, I am pleased to say. Very good. Also, I looked at the reference and I saw that her, like, This, what is this? Tricep? Nope. This is your forearm. If this is your forearm, what is this section called? Do we not have like a colloquial name for that? Anyway, elbow, shoulder. This section was like perpendicular to the ground. Nope, parallel to the ground. And I thought that looked too extreme, so I made mine a little bit lower, and sure enough, I don't like it as much. I feel like I've... Oh, the thought's already gone. It feels like a really chill, slow workday, but this is a ton of work to get done in 3 hours. Really happy with that. Nope, that's weird. There we go. I was like, I'm gonna know when I do it right. I'm just gonna keep doing stuff until I do it right. Oh my gosh, Monkey said technically Leon painted that years ago. Leon is Monkey's son. And like young son, not like 30-year-old son. So I can show him how far he's come. That's really sweet. Yes, paint time tomorrow in voice chat. It's happening. It'll be a party. Splinter said bicep on the top, tricep on the bottom. Yeah, but like... Oh, upper arm in reference to the entire section. That is what I was wanting. Upper arm. That was it. I guess we just don't talk about upper arm very often. Like forearm sounds normal. Saying upper arm feels very funny. Man, I ask niche questions and you just have the answer. I like you. Very good. Someone's paying attention. Oh, Splinter, I don't know if you're in our Discord, but you're invited to be in there, so if you want to be in, just let me know. There'll be an invite in the chat. Also, I don't know if you answered this, but are you like Master Splinter from like TMNT? The Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Because I did sculpt a version of Master Splinter. It's Ratfolk Monk, you know? Not in the same style as the show, of course, but it was a really fun and niche one to do. Did you answer that already? I'm sorry, I missed it. Oh, I'm so glad that I kept this one group. Okay, I'm being very sarcastic. I need to delete these chains, and I don't want to do them one at a time. So let's delete 2 sections. Very good. And then I'll polygroup just this piece. All right, we're covered. I think it'd be cool if this was kind of like hanging, almost like a pendulum. She feels spooky, you know? And witchy. The witchy vibe is coming in. Good, good. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this cape and see if maybe I can get away with a second layer without this becoming just a giant noise ball. Just a big fan of multiple layers. All right, we'll let that sit for a bit and then I'll decide if it's too noisy. Oh, that's really disturbing with skin color. Sean says, Mia, I just bought your Phoenix stuffy. Oh, did you really? Because it's cute AF and I want more minis. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, awesome. Well, that one is gone. I've wanted to see this too. Will it just disappear from the shop or will it just say no one else can get it? That's funny. So yeah, Sean just bought this, my little phoenix stuffy. It is really heckin' cute. Sean, you'll get a kick out of it too because, yep, out of stock. Cool, my website's working. Figured it's a good time to check. So yeah, you'll get this and you'll also get a couple more minis in there. Awesome. Cute. But yeah, Sean's will get a kick out of this because you also crochet, because all of these have mistakes of some sort. This one, not as much. I usually will list in the description what their quirk is or their problem, but I don't think I had one listed for this one because it did a good job. Like, my cactus is chronically crooked. It is literally left leaning. I really didn't mean it to be a political joke. I guess it's technically right leaning, isn't it? From its perspective. Ooh, chaos cactus. I don't know why it's so crooked though. But I thought that was fun to include stuff that was wrong. It's handmade. So yeah, there you go. If you want a stuffy, there's some in there. I'll be posting more tomorrow. I have a bunch I'm going to put up. Yeah. Aloha in all caps. I want the crooked cactus. Aloha, shipping to you costs $20 US. If you put in an order and pay $20 US in shipping, let me know and we will coordinate something because, God, no. We'll do a whole series of stuff if you were to buy something because I need to offset that ridiculous shipping cost. But I can. We have bigger boxes, so I can do that. I would just encourage you to buy more than one thing, so shipping only gets charged once. Entertainment Jerk says, that's funny. Can I get your email? I have an inquiry to send. Sure. I know it's not worth it. I know it's super expensive, so we'd have to make it worth it. You would get like a crate, essentially. Yeah. And then Master Splinter says, yes, thank you. That's TMNT is where the nickname came from years ago. That's so fun. Not sure why they came up with it, but it stuck with the group. I like it. Just means that you're wise and knowledgeable. Absolutely. Just lingual, $2. To help with the crooked cactus. It's the $2 to make him straight again. Oh gosh, crooked can be funny in so many ways. Guys, can we get an Aloha shipping fund? That's hilarious. You're very welcome. I would put it towards that. That is really funny. I could give them a discount. Duke says, do you crochet off a pattern? I do crochet off a pattern. I am not that good yet, but I will be. Yeah. And do I have a Discord server? I sure do. My mod shall help you with that. Does this command work? I can't remember if it works or no. Well, Entertainment Jerk, we gotta know why you have that username. It makes me concerned to invite a jerk to my Discord server. I'm sure you're not actually a jerk, right? I feel like that'd be so on the nose. Like, the thing about people that are a jerk, they're not self-aware, right? So by labeling yourself that, it gives me some confidence, I think. If not, you will become a very, very, very funny story in this community if you actually are a jerk. Oh, man. Remember that guy that we let into our server and they actually were a complete asshole? That would be funny. I feel like I have told a prophecy now. And Entertainment Jerk says, that's just a random name I kept on this email ID. Interesting choice. That's how I feel like about one of my Reddit accounts. When they just put like pre-generated names and then you're supposed to change it within a few days. And if you don't, you get locked into it forever. So one of my Reddit names is like Street Queasy or something. It's the worst pre-generated username ever. But it's mine. Yeah. Entertainment Jerk says, no, I am not. I am just a guy into 3D printing and sculpting. Well, in that case, huzzah. You will fit right in. Welcome in, Jerk. Sorry, I can't. It's too funny. I must call you Jerk now. You mean the best pre-gen username? Street Queasy? Ah, no. But yeah, that's my alt Reddit account, which I feel like I can say that. I don't look at anything weird. And even if I did, like, I don't talk in any communities. Just a lurker. Why am I saying? Nothing's more suspicious than being like, nothing weird here. Don't worry about it. I've always joked that, like, if I had to take like a polygraph test or something, I would do terrible because I get so worried about seeming honest that I say things. Let me put it this way. When we were all hanging out in voice chat the other day, Just Lingual and several other peasants, at one point we talked about spies for the government, and Just Lingual knew a lot about it, and so we all were like, you're a spy. And then, like, he could not stop talking about spy work and, like, how he was not a spy. And it was great. It was great. Anyway, I do the same thing. I do the same thing, so I get it. I do not have a weird alt Reddit account. See, that's what some of the weird alt Reddit account would say. Alright. I just won't talk about it. I haven't put eyeballs on these wings yet, but it's going to be awesome. Awesome! Jerk has joined. I must know if you're also Jerk here. Fanged Joker. Okay, that's a much better one. Or Mr. Thomas. I don't know which one you are. And did anyone answer Evil Bob? Oh goodness, a bunch of y'all have joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Neutrino. Oh, all these good names. Jerk, which one are you? Because Fanged Joker is a good one. Though Mr. Thomas is very unassuming and also equally funny to me. Okay, meanwhile, a real question. Evil Bob. Hashtag mini painting. Or you can email me at m3dmprints@gmail.com. Bam. If you guys ever send me an email, whether it's a painting competition entry or business stuff, whatever, if I don't respond, it means I did not see it. So make sure to annoying follow-up at least like 2 days later. Neutrino is me. Very good. Very good. I have not read anything from Brandon Sanderson, and I know that I am missing out. I know I would like it. I don't know why I have not read anything. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach growling. I'm going to be ending the stream soon. I need to eat. Duke says, Mia, it'd actually just make the polygraphers, I want to say polygraphers, test impossible, or job impossible, because it couldn't establish a baseline on you. That's me. The first time we all played Peak together, it was ridiculous. My heart rate hit like 120 or something just sitting. I'm just like such a spaz. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a spaz. I just very easily spooked. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway. And then Master Splinter says, Fang Joker is my Discord. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. You should change your server, your name to that one jerk from the stream. Look at all these brand new peasants. I don't know if I've talked about that yet, but my viewers are peasants. If you're here, you're a peasant. It's just kind of our whole little thing. It was very much so a joke at first. Just Lingual says, Brandon Sanderson can be a large commitment, so you probably haven't because you just want some time. Probably background using audiobook for sculpting is best. Well, when I sculpt, I stream, so perhaps. Who needs exercise when you have Peak? I googled that at one point where I'm like, if I watch enough horror movies or whatever, if high heart rate still correlates to improve like cardio health, the answer is kind of, but not really. Because I also thought that was an interesting thing. We have come a long way on this stream. I'm very, very happy with how his character is looking. Still has a lot of work to go, but pretty nice overall. Let me just roughly lay out where this chain is going to be. Yeah, I'm doing the art thing again though. Though it was fun talking to you guys. I'm like, oh wait. Very close to finishing this model. Something I recommend when you are trying to like sketch with a curve brush is to lock your start. It gives you a little bit more control and it's a little more forgiving. Also have your picker set to 1 to Z, not continuous Z. That's a whole other host of problems. Okay, stroke, curve, lock, start. So now when I draw out this line, and if I can kind of like pull on it and it will stay there. Isn't that cool? All right, first of all, it needs to connect to this model. Nope. There you go. Let's make that chain size a little bit larger. And then I find once you get a segment of your curve brush doing what you want, move on to the next one. Don't try to make one perfect curve because it's just going to make your life very painful. So that actually looks decent, so I'm going to leave that where it is and then continue it. And that's another reason why the lock start is a really nice thing. Do I work alone for Patreon? It is me and my husband. There we go. We've been doing this full time since, 2019. Technically we started in 2018, but I was still in college getting my engineering degree, so I wasn't like full time until I finished school. Gosh, my stomach growling sounds like a literal demon. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. M3DM. And the monkey said, who's down to play Peak on Saturday? I'm undecided. I did a social last weekend, so I probably wouldn't do this weekend, but I would probably do next. And I might do some more work with the chains here. I just want to get something on here. That's pretty cool. Do you need one more person? God, no, I'm not hiring. No, the last thing I want is more stuff to manage. But I wish you luck. This is definitely better than just a cold email. I do get people probably, oh gosh, I would say once a week, every other week of emailing me, asking for a job. I'm not hiring. But if I was, I would let my Discord community know first, that's for sure. I'd probably reach out to someone directly, honestly, than try to hire randos, because we're such a small company, and by company, I mean like, even that feels weird to say. There we go. Let me get this connection a little tighter here. Very nice. There we go. I actually kind of like this draft I have up here so far. I think it looks good. Just Lingual says, the job market being hard is even reaching you. Yeah, it is, which is funny because I feel like we're small. And the big thing is like, I make models so fast, I couldn't hire someone to be competitive with me at what I do. That's the big thing. I mentioned earlier on stream, but I make 15 minis a month, just from request, all, myself. And that's really comfortable for me. So I can't imagine what I'd be able to pay someone to do, considering I already work so quickly, it would be an insulting amount that I would pay someone just because I have that skill myself. And I'm fast. Doesn't mean it's not worth being paid for, because it absolutely is. It's kind of like trying to sell bread to a baker. Does that make sense? And they're just like, I'm a baker. Why would I buy your bread? I am bread. Does that make sense? Your best bet would be going towards like large companies that do large Kickstarters. They hire a host of artists. And they do not make bread, aka minis. They do not sculpt. They outsource all of the creative work. I do so many food analogies and baking analogies. I don't know why. I really don't bake that much. I just feel like it fits so often. I always find it funny though. And Paint mentions their partner, yeah, my husband, is more of the printer and support person. To put in plain words, because I can't stress this enough, Ricky is the business. What I do, just making art, is not worth anything by itself. It's not a business in itself. Obviously, that's why it's so tricky being a freelance artist, because you have to have the skills, but that doesn't make a livelihood, right? So without Ricky, none of this would be here. Simple as that. I can't imagine trying to do both. Actually, I can, because I did try and nothing happened. And then I was like, Ricky, I need you to quit your job and try to sell my stuff. And the rest is history. Entertainment says, in my country, there are 0 companies making tabletop items. It doesn't matter. Most freelance work is online. So whether it's happening in your country or not is irrelevant. Mia does food analogies because she is hungry. Big brain. That is exactly what it is. I never connected that before. Just Lingual says, you could have 15 models a month, where it's the same 15 but post 5 times each. I would go crazy from boredom, but... Mia makes 1 model and we do alternate poses for the rest of the year. Rip. What did Ricky do before M3DM? Ricky worked, well, right before he was a photographer for car dealerships. Excuse me. But also keep in mind, when Ricky and I started this, we were respectively 21 and 20. So we did fuck all in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like when you were that young, it is so hard to get a job, even if you have a good attitude or you have education, because no one wants to work with a 20-year-old, you know? I like your funny words, Magic Man. So this is from much earlier in the stream, and this is now. I am pretty happy with how this model is turning out. I haven't made the wings all eldritchy yet. I still have a decent amount of work that needs to get done, but still pretty happy with it. Sounds good, Sean. I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I try not to when there's this many people here. I feel, you know, I'm very, very appreciative to have, there's almost 20 people here hanging out. I'm streaming again tomorrow, probably starting around 12:30 Eastern time. You can subscribe on YouTube to get notified, or you can just join Discord. Honestly, I found that tends to be the most consistent way. But it is that time. It is the end of the stream. I feel like this hand would do really, really well with the lantern of all things. I'm gonna put it there just for silhouette reasons for now. And then Nifty says, will the cloth thickness work at that size? It is not real. So this cloth is not real right now. So no, it will not work. It could not be thinner because it doesn't exist. So this is what they call something like single-sided. The reason why you can see it when I toggle this is because I'm turning on a setting called double, which means I'll take a single-sided plane and show both normals, even though only one of them exists. So in order to change that to where you actually would have thickness, I use something called dynamic subdivision level, of which it would look more like that. And then what I like to do to keep that illusion of like thinness and like gauzy material is I will smooth the edges of the fabric and then take my pinch brush just on the very, very edge. So the rest of the fabric it's still nice and chunky, but it looks delicate and fragile. So yes, good question. I didn't tease you because I knew you were asking a real question, but a lot of my students love to ask questions like that, like, is it gonna print? And they're just being a troll. So if you see questions like that, everyone's teasing you right now. Like it's because we usually make this joke. Hello, Jimmy, welcome in. High end means you'll be the only one not stunned when the Mind Flayer mind blasts the party. This is true. Otaka says, I love this model. I'm excited to see what you do with the wings. Me too. It's gonna be a lot of eyeballs. It's gonna be very, very eldritch, and I'm probably gonna do some wear and tear as well. I think it'd be cool if I made one of the edges of the wings kind of like look almost like gaseous, that's the word. Kind of like this little will-o-wisp here. Very much a lean to like that aberration aspect. I think it'd be really cool. Duke says, I feel that. I did a bunch of unrelated jobs when I was younger. I did so many weird jobs, and all of them were working with people directly. I managed people exclusively. And they were all on call all of the time. So yeah. I do like the lantern. Me too. Me too. I would do some tricks to not make that so fragile, because if I can't paint it without breaking it off, I don't want it. Duke says, I like the new camera angle, by the way. It's cool that it shows your tablet. Thank you. I like that too. I was obsessive on that. So Ricky is the one that, again, if I sculpt and that is it. I mean, I hang out with you guys in Discord and I hopefully am, I don't know, I do social fluffing, I guess this is the best way to put it. But other than that, like I don't do anything else. The camera, the setup, Ricky does that. So when he was setting up the camera, getting the lighting to work, so I didn't look like a goblin, I remember I was really obsessed on having my tablet in it, and he was funny. He was like, does that really matter? And I'm like, yeah, because it's like, they see me doing the thing. So I appreciate you saying that. Oh no, it's raining. No priming for you. Can you prime in the garage? The garage? Gosh, this model is freaking cool. Let's do a fun one. Also just a reminder of like how much work it still takes. So this is after the posing pass and this is still doing more detail work with it. So don't be discouraged. Oh, that's really, really weird saying the half painted. Stop. Don't get discouraged. Just keep sculpting. Just keep swimming. It'll be fine. You gotta trust the process. This close-up doesn't look good because she's looking down. So never mind, we're not doing that. We'll just do this. Maybe I can mess with the perspective. That's always fun. I can go to draw. I can change the focal length. Just a little bit. Sean says, but this is the South. It's humid as heck. Ah. I mean, yeah. This is true. I was gonna say, I'm like, is it already humid where you're at? And I'm like, it makes sense. We are not far from each other. There we go. That looks more. This model is so cool, Otaka. Thank you for your bitchin' request and supporting my art because, yeah, I wouldn't do requests if they sucked. I remember when I first like opened up like my main, you know, creative selling point as like making people's requests, I was kind of nervous because I'm like, what if they suck? And I'm like, well, I hope they don't. And they haven't. They've been really cool. I'm gonna put this in Google Drive so Ricky can make a sexy thumbnail. And when I try to specify what Ricky does, I say like it's anything that's not sculpting. I don't mean to like demean how much work the main art is and how important that is. Obviously, I know it is. I get a little snippy when I've heard people say like, oh, you know, Mia does all the art, Ricky just does other stuff, or and that's not what people mean, but it annoys me because it is literally the business. My goodness. I also don't want it to be like misleading. I think some people that want to be me and have a business like this focus so much on making art, which makes a lot of sense, but it's just such a like bait and switch because that's not. You could sculpt just like me. You could sculpt 5 times better than me. Okay, maybe not 5 times. That would be very good. Twice as good as me. And maybe still not be able to make it without some really good, shrewd business plan. It's tough. It's the kind of same way where if you go to vet school and then you're a veterinarian, like you can either work for a clinic, but most of them work for themselves and they really are like half business people as well. It's tough. I wouldn't trade it for anything though. I love what we do. Mia Ricky, yin yang. Yes, thank you. Exactly. I really like that. Sean says, honestly, I could really use a business mentorship from Ricky because I need that knowledge. Yeah, I offer art business mentorship talks through my thing. I don't push it very often, and I really kind of discourage people from asking business advice because it's not like fun. How do I put this? Art is difficult to sell because it's so related to who you are, right? It's very personal, okay? And I'll give you guys some free art business advice right now. You can break it down to like the 3 different things, okay? You have to assume your product is good enough to sell. And for the most part, it is. I find that talent, it tends to not be the issue. But outside of that, it's either, do you have enough leads, people looking at your stuff? Then is it a conversion issue? Or is it more product issue? Because obviously you have to be making new stuff. So it's one of those 3 things at any given time. That is a good place to start. Do you have enough products to sell? You should have at least, 5 things you can sell. Yes? Great. Now move on to who is seeing your stuff. And this turns into like this social media nonsense. Yes, that can help, but it's not just about that, if that makes sense. You know, you can network in person, go to craft fairs and stuff. There's different ways to tackle that other than just screaming into the Instagram void. I have a whole other tips on that too. And then conversion. Don't be afraid of sales. Don't be afraid to be like, hey, thanks for checking out my art. If you got time, or this might interest you. Stuff like that. It can be really casual still. Nifty says, it's great that you can have a business together. I'm very jealous. It's awesome. It is awesome. I love what I do. And I love that I can do it with Ricky. We complement very, very well. If there was like secret salty drama behind the scenes, I probably allude to it or make jokes of it. It's very boring. We are very like-minded, pragmatic people. So our business talks are, they probably would sound stiff if I ever recorded them, because we're just like this, and like we'll shoot things down, bring things up, and we kind of talk in monotone. But it's a good time. Leads, conversion, retain. See, this is business. I think that's much better said too. Retaining customers you have is huge. That's a huge part of what I do. That's why I have peasants. That's why I want to keep you guys too. At this point, the line is getting quite blurry between customer and friendship. But that's a whole other personal thing I have to navigate. But anyway, I sometimes feel like that little kid that just kind of like, everybody's my friend. And it's like, also you're making sales here. I'm like, yes. And they're my friend. Oh gosh. Yeah. This is a great one. Jimmy just said, unless it is for something like the Super Bowl, never do anything for just exposure. Yes. I had a guy that used to be part of the Corridor crew. He seemed nice enough. He's doing his own thing now he's doing like a D&D podcast, or they film it. I didn't look into it enough. It's so long ago, I can't remember. And he wanted me to make minis for them. And I quoted this guy like $600 because I was like, I know you guys have a budget, and that's what I charge. Because he wanted me to make minis exclusive for their show, and then they owned it. And I was like, okay, well, my commissions are $300, but if we do a lot, I can drop it down to $200 per custom model, sculpted from scratch. But they wanted to own it outright. And I could tell I pissed this guy off, and I was like, okay, it'd be at least $500 a model, you know? And he just ghosted me. But I could tell I also like pissed him off because he was hoping that I would just be cool with the exposure. No one's reading the credits of a freaking tabletop podcast show or whatever and being like, that seems good. I'm going to connect with that monster I saw during this minute of this second is this artist, and then go find them, support them. That is just not how this works at all. At all. Sean's just writing notes. Good. I'm glad, honestly. Yeah. It's not even advice, to be honest. It's just direction. Yes, I find my students that are going to do well and sell and make not maybe a living, but at least like a fun, like sustainable hobby, like a hobby that pays for itself is honestly a good starting goal. Something that covers the cost of your materials, is what I'm trying to say. That's a really good starting point, and I find the students that are going to do well just need direction, as opposed to like a step-by-step guidebook. The worst thing you can do is just not do stuff and not try. I had a guy who paid me for a like consulting fee. I think I charged like $30 an hour. I can't remember what I charged. But anyway, we did a call about selling his 3D models, and by the end, I mean, I was like, what product? This guy had 4 models and they didn't look related at all. Like 3 of them were fan art, straight up like from Dragon Ball Z or something. And one of them was a character he made for his friend. And I'm just like, this is not a business. I don't even know what you're trying to sell here. And he's like, okay, well, how many models do I need in order to be able to sell? And I'm like, you're already asking the wrong questions. And then he asked my next favorite, worst question. This is a question that drives me crazy, even though questions are just questions. But I do have a chip on my shoulder with this one. When people ask me, what kind of art should I make that will sell? For me, it's like dead in the water immediately. Like, you're not going to succeed because it's a crazy fucking question to ask. What do you like to make? You're an artist. You're a wizard, Harry. But like, seriously, you're an artist. Like, go make the stuff that you like. If you like really crazy niche stuff, there's probably a market for that. Absolutely. I had someone, I think it was a Rat Girl, who makes great stuff. They were worried their stuff was too grim dark. And then they posted more on my Discord server and people loved it. And I could tell that they were like, oh, I can just make what I like. And I'm like, yes, you can. It's fine to pivot into a brand. Like I do D&D models specifically, but I like fantasy. I like storytelling. I like characters. I like whimsy. I like really just fantasy covers so much right there, genuinely. There's a reason why you guys don't see me doing mechs and sci-fi. I don't really feel passionate about that, though I admire it. So yes. Yes, they wanted the license of ownership, and it costs money. Yes, it does. Otaka says, there is nothing too grimdark. I agree. I'm just getting started, y'all. How's Rat Girl been? I don't know. Peasants come, peasants go. She'll be back. I guarantee it. There we go. And then Ricky, okay, again, everybody. Ricky, business. He's very, very clear in the way that he talks. So listen. Ricky says, exposure does not equal leads unless you have a specific funnel in place for specific instances of exposure. Highly unlikely, hence why we advise against it. So I think an example of what Ricky is saying here is like, let's say you, I'm making this up because I like Jenny D. Let's say I did a collaboration pack with Jenny D or something, or I made a bunch of minis. And then I had a specific landing page on my website featuring the collab that I did with Jenny D in a video for free or whatever to get those minis on my website. Like that's very, very specific. It's very branded. It still comes back to our website and the sales were made there. So that could work, for example. Nifty says, gotcha. So selling self-nude portraits, minis it is. I'm on it. You do you, boo. Oh, I love it. Nifty, I have found my calling. Jimmy says, you have to make the art that you are passionate about. People can tell if you are passionate about what you do. People can tell so much, it like hurts my feelings sometimes. I remember like, I can't remember what specific model it was, but there was a model that I knew was like fundamentally good and I posted it and it got like no attention and it kind of hurt my feelings. And then I posted some like little gobbly dude, like just some goofy little model, and it did super well. And I'm like, this is objectively not as good art wise, but I guess it is because art soul, something like that, you know. Okay, we did business talk. This was fun. It's been 3.5 hours. I'm going to eat my tablet. I'm so hungry. Okay, you guys are great. We're going to do the exact same thing tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern time. Join Discord if you haven't. Check out my Patreon. I make fantastic stuff and I'm very, very proud of it. If you have a 3D printer, you want to print my stuff. There's literally something for everyone. Even if you don't play D&D, I just got like cute little dudes and stuff. Alrighty, I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? What else am I gonna say? I don't like saying get out anymore. It feels too mean. Have a nice day. No, it's too nice. I don't have a sign off. I haven't been streaming for so long, I don't have a sign off. Okay, bye.